Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Simultaneous Time Travel. Sharing Talents from Jackie Chan Adventures. Chapter 1. Link, are you really learning magic seriously? Is this laser eye magic that difficult? In a room on the top floor of a commercial building in San Francisco. The Holy Lord, who was still a bronze dragon statue, looked at the handsome boy in front of him with a look of disappointment. It has begun to doubt whether its decision to accept Link as its apprentice was the right choice. Link was its apprentice a year ago. To be more precise, Link took the rabbit and pig talismans and took the initiative to find it to become its apprentice. Although it is unknown where Link got its existence, the Holy Lord wants to revive, and the talisman is an indispensable prop. Faced with the talisman delivered to the door, the Holy Lord naturally cannot refuse it. It was just that at the beginning it thought of waiting until the other party collected all the talismans and then regretting it directly. But Link seemed to understand its character very well, and asked it to change a talisman every time it taught the magic corresponding to a talisman. The Holy Lord didn't know where the little boy knew that his talisman was actually a kind of magic before it became a talisman. It's just that Lope used a magic spell to turn its magic into a deprivable spell. And he also warned it that if it dared to let the Shadow Army attack him, he would take the spell directly to Daolong, the strongest black magician of the time, to become his apprentice. Anyway, the Holy Lord agreed to Link's request without any hesitation. As the strongest black magician in history, wouldn't it be easy for it to teach a little kid to learn black magic? However, 1 year later, today, that is, now, the Holy Lord is desperate. Link's talent in magic is even lower than that of the cavemen. It has been a year since it taught Link to learn laser eye magic. Not to mention successfully releasing lasers, it can't even make its eyes glow. It's really going to piss off the devil. Well, since Master Saint, you can't teach me, then I have to bring this apprenticeship gift to Daolong and let him teach me magic. Seeing the red eyes of the Holy Lord statue, Link stood up with a wronged look on his face, holding the spell and pretending to leave. Hearing Link's words, the Holy Lord immediately became anxious. The rabbit spell in Link's hand is one of the top 2 spells that are good at escaping. In addition, it is really difficult to keep Link now that it only has the Black Shadow core. Therefore, it can only persuade Link to stay with emotion and reason. What is that old guy Daolong? I am the most powerful black wizard in the world. My good disciple, you can't learn magic because of your special physique. Give me 1 day, and I will compile a set of magic that suits your physique for you. I guarantee that you can learn magic in minutes. After that, the originally red eyes of the Holy Lord statue dimmed. I don't know whether it really went to its own memory to find a way, or to seek help from its brothers and sisters in hell. Seeing this, Link sighed helplessly. I can't learn any magic. I am embarrassing the world travelers. Yes, Link is a traveler. It has been 12 years since he traveled to this world due to an accidental death in his previous life. When he first crossed over, he was abandoned on the streets of the United States and was later adopted by an orphanage. At first, Link thought he had just come to the United States in a parallel world. Until later, he saw the archaeologist Chen Long in the newspaper. He realized that he had crossed over to the world of Chen Long's adventures. After realizing this, Link had the idea of becoming an air wizard. After all, magic in this world is version T0. A large amount of magic cannot be countered by abilities other than magic, and only magic can defeat magic. In this world, in addition to the 8 demons and the Shadow General, there are also many black creatures such as vampires and evil spirits. If he can't become an air wizard, what should he do if he encounters these strange things? And the reason why he didn't go to his father, a decent person, but went to the Lord of the 8 demons. On the one hand, because of his father's temper, he might not be able to stand it. On the other hand, because he, Link, is not a pure good person, even if he goes to the door, he may not be able to get the true teachings of his father. So, a year ago, he got the easy-to-find rabbit and pig spells based on the information in the original book and went to the Holy Lord to learn from him. Originally, Link thought he could learn skills from the strongest black wizard in history. But his aptitude was too poor, and it was useless after learning for a whole year. Alas, I hope the Holy Lord can find a way. With a sigh, the tired Link activated the rabbit spell and ran to a hotel in a 3rd-tier city in China. He is now a fool who relies on external forces. Without internal strength, he dare not spend the night in the Black Hand building. If he was really in the Black Hand building, the shameless devil of the Holy Lord would definitely use the Black Shadow Core to sneak attack him while he was sleeping. In the past year, Link has used the rabbit spell to run to remote areas and find a cheap hotel, and then he can rest assured and fall asleep. Fog. The gray fog shrouds everything. As if falling on the edge of disorder, the color has disappeared. When Link came to his senses, he found himself in a ruined palace. Did I travel through time again? Or was I attacked by some kind of magic? Link looked around vigilantly. At this moment, he was sitting on a huge stone chair with only half of the backrest left. And there was not only one such stone chair, but there were many throughout the palace. There was a special pattern under each stone chair, connecting all the stone chairs together to form a complex and mysterious circular array. It looks like the venue for some mysterious ceremony. As Link was thinking, the pattern of the circular array suddenly flashed. As the pattern of the array flashed, 3 figures gradually emerged on the stone chair. Link's eyes were like copper bells, and he looked at the scene in front of him with some disbelief. These 3 figures were dressed differently, had different body shapes, and even had different appearances. But there was one thing in common, that is, they all gave him a very close and familiar feeling, as if they were himself. Hello, I'm Link. Qianlong's Adventures. Link was the first to say hello. I'm Link too. Me too. You are all Link, then who am I? The 4 of them stared at each other, looking confused. Until a piece of information came into their minds, their originally vigilant eyes dissipated, replaced by incomparable excitement. My golden finger finally arrived. The 4 people said in unison. Yes, this palace shrouded in gray fog is Link's golden finger. The 4 people present are also Link. When he traveled through the previous life, Link's soul was accidentally scattered into many fragments and went to different worlds. This space can absorb links scattered in various worlds. And this is not the most exciting part for them. What really makes them happy is that everything they have can be transmitted and shared through this space, including physical fitness, talent, charm, etc. Great, I finally found the organization. Without any hesitation, Qianlong's Adventure Link immediately stepped forward and stretched out his hand. Then the rest of the Links also put their hands together. The next moment, multiple memories flowed into each other's minds. The Links did not feel any pain, as if they had been completed, and they easily got the memories of the rest of the Links. Hunter, Pirate, and Hokage are all familiar worlds. The adventures of Qianlong. Link's expression was a little subtle. Through the memory sharing just now, he not only obtained the abilities of other Links, but also basically understood the basic situation of Links. Link, a full-time hunter, is currently picking up rags in Meteor Street. He has not been exposed to telekinesis, so let's not talk about being immortal. The other 2 Links each have their own unique features. The first is the Pirate King Link. He is a family member of a martyr and an ordinary marine. Thanks to the particularity of the One Piece world, his physical fitness is extraordinary. Although One Piece Link is just an ordinary marine in the One Piece world. But if placed in the world of Qianlong's Adventures, his physical fitness is comparable to that of a strong person like Black Tiger Ah Fu. Hokage Link is the youngest and is still attending Konoha Ninja School. But he comes from an excellent background and is a descendant of the Thousand Hands clan. Although his physical fitness is not much higher than that of a 7-year-old child, he has already developed chakra energy in his body. Due to the different rules of the world, these chakras were converted into his own mana by Link. Whether it's physical fitness or mana, these are what Link needs in Qianlong's Adventures. Needless to say, physical fitness is also extremely important. The amount of magic power of the Chi Wizard not only determines whether it can cast magic, but also determines how quickly it can cast magic. In the original 8 Demons chapter, when facing the water demon Basha, it was precisely because Toru's mana was insufficient and his spell casting speed was too slow that he ultimately failed to seal the water demon Basha, making him the only one with the ability to do so. The devil who survived 1 episode. Now I can hold you in my lap. Thank you all so much. Feeling the changes in his body, Qianlong Adventure Link was ecstatic. I am finally no longer a weakling. The adventures of Qianlong. Link, don't underestimate yourself. You will be the real boss in the future. Naruto Link looked at Qianlong's adventures Lin Qidong with a somewhat meaningful expression. Your world chi increases as fast as riding a rocket. Pirate Link added. If a Fu's life is a history of weakening, then Dad's life is a history of infinite strengthening. At the beginning, Dad could only play support. Later, Dad simply blocked people and killed people, and monsters blocked and killed monsters. The key is that Zhengqi keeps feeding his father, causing his mana and energy to skyrocket, even more powerful than the Daolong who defeated the Archmage. Since righteous energy can cheat, then black energy can naturally cheat too. If there is only one person left in the black energy camp in the future, then the black energy will probably help you rise to a higher level than the Holy Lord, with energy comparable to that of the tailed beasts in the Naruto world or even more. Thinking of this, all the Links looked at Qianlong's adventure Link and became excited. Good guy, it turns out that this is the real big brother. Anyway, with the power you all share, I can take part in this hunter test and learn telekinesis skills. Link, a full-time hunter, said excitedly. Hokage Link also raised the corners of his mouth slightly. With 4 times the talent, I can probably graduate from the ninja school early if I want. In that case, everyone should return to their respective worlds as soon as possible to improve their strength. I estimate that Luffy will soon go to sea. I also plan to follow him to earn some credit and strive to study at the Navy headquarters as soon as possible. Pirate Link's eyes flashed with light. He can't wait to return to the world of One Piece to show off his talents. After a while, all the Links returned to their own worlds. The adventures of Qianlong. Link slowly opened his eyes, looked at the dawn outside the window, felt the magic power in his body, and raised the corners of his mouth slightly. I should be able to use magic now, right? Link looked at the palm of his hand and communicated his magic power according to the method taught by the Holy Master. Then with a glare, a laser shot out of Link's eyes, piercing the table. The magic was cast without any help from the spell. This is in sharp contrast to the way he was unable to cast magic no matter what before. At the same time, after sharing the talent, his own perception ability has been further improved. At the moment when Link successfully released his magic, he could feel a certain amount of black energy from heaven and earth pouring into his body, making his mana more abundant. It seems that the black energy has recognized my identity as a black energy wizard. This feeling is simply wonderful. Link felt the changes in his body carefully and felt excited in his heart. After possessing the magic power, he seemed to have a stepping stone to the extraordinary path of Qianlong's adventures. He just needs to practice to attract the influx of black energy from heaven and earth to enhance his magic power. Compared to Link in other worlds, his rate of increasing mana energy is simply not too fast. Not only that, his physical fitness, magic talent, etc. have improved. It was his first time to use laser eye magic just now, but after practicing it a few times, his proficiency in this magic has been greatly improved. Now, although his laser eye magic is no faster than using the spell directly with zero delay, the casting time is only about 0.5 seconds at most. At the very least, the situation in the original book where Daolong wanted to cast a spell but was interrupted by his father should not happen to him. This is just sharing 4 selves. If I can find all the selves in the heavens and the worlds. Link smiled, and he couldn't imagine how wonderful the future would be. Now he is already looking forward to the next meeting. In the morning, after checking out of the hotel, Link did not continue to use the rabbit spell, but instead used the speed magic corresponding to the rabbit spell to run back to the Black Hand building in San Francisco. Wallen, you and your incompetent subordinates disappoint me. I lent you the Black Shadow Core, but you only helped me get back the shield. The Lord roared angrily at Valone in front of him. Lassu, Joe, Affin, and True were also trembling. The Lord wanted to continue to curse, but the next moment he saw Link's figure. Okay, Lord, don't blame them. If you are willing to pay, you can ask the President of the United States to get you the talisman. As soon as Link finished speaking, Valone and others present were stunned at first, and then looked at him with gratitude. They knew Link, but they were not familiar with him. So they didn't expect Link to speak for them. When the Lord saw Link's figure, he also avoided his eyes for a while. Yesterday, he said that he would study magic suitable for Link's physique. But in fact, he didn't study it at all, but planned to start planning the talisman in Link's hand. After all, if he really couldn't teach the other party, it would be more convenient to take action against him directly. As we all know, the Lord is dishonest. Link, my good apprentice, you are finally here. The Holy Lord looked at Link with his glowing red eyes, feeling a little eager in his heart, wanting to let the Black Shadow Core immediately snatch the talisman from Link. No matter whether you succeed or not, you have to give it a try. It is better than Link, the boy, to go to Dowlong with a talisman to become his apprentice. However, Link's next move really surprised him. I have learned magic, and I will give you these 2 charms as promised. I saw Link directly stuffing the 2 talismans in his hand into the grooves of the statue of the Holy Lord. A familiar force surged into his body, making the Holy Master a little confused. This is actually a real spell. When had this kid been so kind to me? Thus hand over the charm to it. Although it was unclear why Link did this, the Holy Master was still extremely excited when he felt the power of the talisman returning to his body. Finally, after hundreds of years, my power has finally returned. At this moment, the Holy Lord's mood was as refreshing as drinking a glass of iced Coke in the summer. The original anger that the Mafia only brought back the shield but not the talisman suddenly disappeared. However, soon it suddenly felt something was wrong. Did that brat Link just say that he learned magic? You kid can also learn magic. The Holy Lord's red eyes flickered, and his tone was full of disbelief. As the darling of black energy, one of the 8 ancient demons, and the most powerful black energy wizard in history. Even though a considerable part of today's wisdom has been worn away by time, it still clearly knows how bad Link's talent is. According to common sense, Link may not be able to learn magic in his lifetime. Otherwise, it would not have wanted to take the risk and let the Shadow Core attack Link just now. But now Link comes to tell it that he has learned magic. I have learned it, but I found that without the wand, the power of these magics will be reduced a lot, so I need your help, Teacher Holy Lord. Link said respectfully. Tell me, kid, how can I help you if you need help? Taking advantage of his happiness, the Holy Master asked directly. This little devil handed over 2 talismans to him at once, helping it to complete its resurrection and advance an unknown number of steps further. If this were the case alone, the Holy Master wouldn't be so happy. But before that, he lent the Black Shadow Core to Valone, but Valone still didn't bring the talisman back. In contrast to the incompetence of Valone and others, Link is willing to give the talisman to himself. It is quite useful and must be rewarded. Since Teacher Holy Lord has spoken, I'm not polite. I want some materials from your body to refine the staff. Link grinned. What? Upon hearing this, the Holy Master was like a cat whose tail was stepped on, and his tone changed. Good guy, this kid is actually greedy for his body. As the most powerful black energy wizard in history, you should know that dragon body material is the best extraordinary material in the world. Link spoke very calmly. If I could grow up, wouldn't I be able to help you more? So, what do you want? The Holy Lord asked warily. Before being turned into a statue, it did hide some body materials around the world, such as its dragon teeth. But that is the method it uses to resurrect itself, and it cannot be left to Link. Dragon teeth. Master is definitely not willing to give them to me, so just give me some of your dragon scales. The stingy death of the Holy Lord in the original book made it impossible for him to hand over the dragon's teeth that could be used for resurrection. Therefore, Link didn't plan to ask for dragon teeth. It would be generous to ask for a few dragon scales. Okay, I'll give you a few dragon scales. The Holy Master's eyes were red, his breathing was heavy, and he looked very reluctant to give up. The next moment, it shook its body and a few stone fragments were shaken off, and then it was delivered to Link's hands by the Black Shadow Ninja. Link glanced at the stone fragments in his hand and couldn't help cursing in his heart. You, an old guy with thick eyebrows and big eyes, are so stingy. Although the stone fragments that fell off these statues were also dragon scales, the quality of these dragon scales was only slightly higher than ordinary staff materials before the Holy Lord restored the dragon body. Forget it, it's better to have extraordinary materials than not. These dragon scales are better than those staffs made of animal taxidermy. Link comforted himself. But not all chi wizards are dads, who conceal demons with stuffed pufferfish and lizards. Okay, you go back to refine the staff first. I still have some things to talk to Valone about. After sending Link away, the Holy Lord continued to look at Valone with his scarlet eyes. Seeing this, Valone felt a little scared, thinking that the Holy Master was still angry and was about to continue to bow his head and admit his mistake. However, after the Holy Lord was silent for a moment, two shadow ninjas actually emerged from the ground carrying a box of gold and silver jewelry. The bright golden light emitted by the jewelry directly illuminated the entire room, making it look extremely dreamy. Holy Lord, this is it. Seeing a box full of gold and silver jewelry, Valone's eyes shone, he secreted a lot of saliva, and even his speech was unclear. Just like an old gentleman can calculate a woman's measurements at a glance, the money man Valon can instantly calculate the value of this box of gold and silver jewelry with his naked eyes alone, which is no less than 10 million US dollars. He was actually able to get money from the Holy Lord. Wolong, since Link said that money can do anything in this era, I hope you can use these treasures to retrieve the talisman for me. The voice of the Holy Lord sounded slowly, and everyone present could feel the strong reluctance from its tone. When Valong next to him heard that the Holy Lord was sure to pay these treasures to him, his expression was completely out of control, and he wanted to kneel down directly. Thank you, Holy Lord. I hope you don't disappoint me, Valong. The Holy Lord looked at Valong and said, in the future, every time you help me retrieve a talisman, I can give you a box of gold, silver and jewelry. Really? Valong's eyes suddenly lit up, but soon he seemed to think of something, and asked with doubts, Lord Holy Lord, there is one thing I don't know if I should ask, can we borrow Mr. Link's power? In Valong's opinion, Link, as a disciple of the Holy Lord, should be strong. If they can use Link's power, then the probability of them retaking the talisman from Qianlong will definitely be much greater. Don't count on that brat. Even if he really learns my magic, without enough black energy, his strength won't be that high. You should take back the talisman according to your own ideas. The Lord said. In the Lord's opinion, unless there are many extraordinary creatures in the black energy camp who are gone in the future, the mother of black energy will have no choice but to support Link, otherwise Link's life will be over. But those extraordinary creatures in the black energy camp are all experienced and cautious. How can they die so easily to make room for Link? Yes, Lord. Valone nodded, looking very obedient. Whether Link can help or not, he has already got a box of treasure, so it's not a loss anyway. And the three fools on the side also looked very happy. Lisu, Boss Wallen finally made some money, it seems our salaries are settled. Affin, I think we should thank Link. If it weren't for him, that stingy statue would never have come up with the money. Joe, that's right, how about we treat him to a spicy hot pot meal? Link was unaware of the Mafia Trio's gratitude to him. At this moment, he was putting all kinds of strange materials into the crucible while cursing. The old man, the Holy Lord, is too stingy. If you don't want to give it, can't I take it myself? After a while, I will go and dig out your magic dragon tooth to strengthen my staff. In the original book, the magic dragon tooth used by the Holy Lord for resurrection is under the Golden Gate Bridge. Since he knew the location, Link naturally had the ability to dig it out, but he soon rejected this idea. The magic dragon tooth must be dug, but definitely not now. After all, digging out the magic dragon tooth of the Holy Lord means turning against the Holy Lord. Even if he wants to dig it, he has to wait until he has learned the magic corresponding to the 12 spells before he can do it. So now Link can only use the stone fragments given by the Holy Lord, dragon scales, to refine the staff. In the Adventures of Qianlong, the staffs used by the air wizards are roughly divided into 3 types. The first type is the animal specimen type staff, which is headed by Daddy and appears the most times in the original book. These include pufferfish, lizards, etc. In addition to Daddy, True and True's future apprentice all use this type of staff. Theoretically, the performance of this type of staff is no different from that of a traditional staff, but the disadvantage is that it is not easy to use in some scenes. For example, in the original book, the pufferfish staff lost its ability to cast spells after being touched by water. The second type of staff is obviously superior to ordinary staffs, and only the top batch of air wizards in history can use special staffs. Its representatives are the magic scroll mastered by Lopez, who appeared in the original book, and the Maju magic ball that can directly enhance magic 10 times. This level of staff is not something that a beginner like Link can master. The third type of staff is the traditional staff used by Daolong, which is made of special wood mixed with extraordinary materials. It is safer than the first type of staff and more expensive. This is also the type of staff that Link is going to make. Dragon scales, lizard tears, octopus tentacles, peach wood, done. Accompanied by a crisp explosion, a dragon head staff emerged from the crucible. The staff body was straight peach wood, and the top of the staff was a lifelike dragon head. Sure enough, with the staff, the flow of mana is smoother. Link feels that his current state is very wonderful. If he used to throw bullets directly, he can now shoot with a pistol with the staff. Both the speed magic and the laser eye magic are faster to use. Local magic is basically fine, but is it possible to transfer the abilities of other worlds in a local form? After refining the staff, Link can feel that learning local magic has become simple and easy. But compared to local magic, Link now actually wants to reproduce some abilities of other worlds in the form of magic. For example, the E-level ninjutsu shared by Naruto Link, three-body technique. The so-called three-body technique actually refers to the three ninjutsu of substitution technique, transformation technique, and clone technique, which are also the simplest and lowest-rated ninjutsu taught by the ninja school. Although the three-body technique is the lowest level ninjutsu, it does not mean that the three-body technique is not easy to use. On the contrary, in a considerable part of the battle, the three-body technique is more powerful than many A-level ninjutsu. Substitution technique. Quickly replace the original body with other objects at the moment of attack, making the opponent think that the attack is successful. Transformation technique. It is a temporary change of objects. Clone technique. It is to create a controllable illusory clone, not a physical entity. In addition to the substitution technique, which can only be used to bully weak and equal opponents, the transformation technique and clone technique can play a considerable role even when facing people who are stronger than themselves. The only problem now is that if you want to use ninjutsu normally, you need chakra. I don't know if my mana can be used. Link held the dragon staff and imitated the chakra trend when Naruto Link performed the three-body technique. Clone spell. The magic power was instantly activated, and a light and shadow flew out from the tip of the staff, turning into a phantom that looked exactly like Link and appeared beside Link. It actually worked. Seeing this scene, Link's eyes flashed with shock. In fact, he just wanted to try it out, and it didn't matter whether it really needed to succeed. After all, this was a power from another world, and it was normal even if it didn't succeed in the end. It's just that the speed of casting this clone spell is a bit slow. If you use a staff to cast it in actual combat, everyone can directly see which ones are clones, and it won't interfere. Next, it's best to gradually try to cast the three-body spell normally, and not cast the three-body spell with a staff. Just cast as many spells as possible and as quickly as possible to complete the three-body spell. Time passed quickly. That day, after Link finished practicing magic, he was eating free spicy hot pot in the Black Hand building. As a result, he saw the 4 members of the Black Hand gang limping back. You failed again. Wallen, who was standing by, saw that the 4 of them had nothing in their hands, and his face was extremely ugly. After getting the treasure of the Holy Lord, he immediately arranged for the 4 of them to have the best weapons in the United States. Unexpectedly, the 4 of them still failed. Joe, sorry, boss. Lasu, Chen-Long is so good with 2 fish, we are no match for him. Affin, they have a kid who has mastered the power of chicken, and even True was thrown into the sea by her. True, I hate fish. Hearing the words of his subordinates, Valon's expression became more gloomy. Not only did this operation fail, but the 4-man team also lost a lot of equipment, which was a big loss. Shut up, you stupid things. Valone raised his eyebrows. Now the talisman has been placed in the safest District 13 by Chen-Long and his friends. It is impossible for us to get the chicken talisman. After the Black Hands used the Black Shadow Ninja, Dad set up the righteous magic for District 13 as protection. Before, they could use the Black Shadow Ninja, but they were not the opponents of Chen-Long and his friends. Now District 13 can't use the Black Shadow Ninja, which means it's even more difficult to rob. Valone, you bunch of rubbish have messed up everything. The Lord's scarlet eyes began to flicker, and it seemed that he had entered the red temperature state. After all, it not only lent the Shadow Core to Valone, but also gave him a considerable amount of treasure. As a result, Valone and others failed to gain anything for it, which made it feel good. Okay, Master, I think they just lack a little help. I will help them get the remaining talismans. Seeing Valone and others being scolded, Link suddenly stood up to speak for them. The Holy Lord frowned. Are you sure you can help me get the talisman? Do you have enough magic? It's not even time for me to use magic. Master, I said before that as long as you give enough money, you can do everything in this era. Link responded confidently. After a moment of silence, the Holy Lord said to Valone and others, I will let you go if you fail in the fight for the chicken talisman this time. This time, you will obey Link's orders for the fight for the talisman. Remember, you must not fail. Although the chicken talisman is also very important, it is not the most critical rat and tiger in the resurrection plan after all. Although it claims that it needs 12 spells to be resurrected, that is just a lie to confuse others. Even if it does not have any of the 12 spells, it can be resurrected through the Dragon Fang substitute method, Dragon Fetus reincarnation method, etc. Therefore, even if there is no chicken, it can completely resurrect itself by force. Mexico. This is a hot-blooded country that not only has chicken rolls, but also boxing, wrestling, and gunfights. And today, the Bull Warrior in the Mexican wrestling world happened to have his 100th wrestling match. As long as he wins today's match, the Bull Warrior's record will reach an unprecedented 100 wins in 100 matches. Such an important match naturally attracted a large number of wrestling fans to watch. The Bull Warrior will win. Win this one, and you will win 100 matches. Inside information, there is a shady deal in this match. I bet that the Bull Warrior will lose this time. What are you talking about? The Bull Warrior never takes off his mask. Along on the street, there was endless discussion around, and Valone and others frowned. Affin, it seems that our target this time is a big star. Joe, I'm more curious about whether the Bull Warrior also takes off his mask when taking a bath. Lassou, then his face must be very dirty. Listening to the words of the trio beside him, Valone's mouth twitched slightly. Can these three funny guys stop playing funny all the time? However, he did not expect the three living treasures to perform well in this operation. It mainly depends on what Link, who volunteered, can do. Mr. Link, is there anything I can help you with? Valone asked. Although in theory, he and Link should cooperate in this operation, Link did not assign him any tasks. Valone really couldn't understand this. Could it be that Link wanted to abandon them and do it alone? There is really one thing I need your help with. Hearing Valone's question, Link, who was resting with his eyes closed, smiled. I need you to hold someone back. Hold who? Chen Long. He seems to have found the trace of the Bull Talisman and is on his way here by plane. However, I have sent people to interfere with them. They should not be able to get here before we recover the Bull Talisman. When talking about Chen Long, Valone was very angry. Everyone has a dragon in their name, why can't they sit down and talk, hand over the talisman to him honestly, and share the money? Obviously, at the beginning, he asked the three funny people to spend money politely and buy the chicken spell shield directly. But Chen Long, that guy, not only refused to sell, but also beat up the three funny people, causing him to pay a lot of medical expenses. After all, this is considered a work injury. No, they will definitely come in the end. Link shook his head and whispered, and I want you to hold back not Chen Long, but Chen Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu, you said it was the little one next to Chen Long. Why hold her back? And can't Affin and the other three go? Wulong looked confused. Link didn't mean to explain. Could it be that he was going to tell Valong that he had watched an anime called Chen Long's Adventure? In the anime, the reason why the Black Camp has always failed is because of this girl in an orange jacket. This girl is not only the founder of the Dragon Group, but also the Dark Queen of the Shadow Core and the reincarnation of the Saint Seiya. If he really said that, Valong would probably treat him as a mental patient and send him to the hospital for treatment. We can't let Affin and the others go. You are the only one who can hold her back. Link patted Valone on the shoulder and said earnestly. In the original book, keeping an eye on Xiaoyu is tantamount to a hell-level task. All those who try to keep an eye on Xiaoyu will fail, with only one exception, that is the chosen villain Valone in front of him. But can you really get the talisman by yourself? Valone was still a little worried. He invested a lot of money in this operation. If this mission fails again, he still can't get the treasure from the Holy Lord, then the capital flow of the Black Hand gang may be in trouble. Don't worry, as long as you can keep an eye on Xiao Yu, I will definitely get the talisman. Link said with great confidence. In this world, there is a special rule of yin and yang balance. When the black energy grows and the world is about to encounter danger, the positive energy will try every means to stop the actions of the black energy camp. And its approach is to inject the positive energy directly into certain people's bodies when necessary, thereby strengthening the ability, luck, endurance and other factors of the injected person. Many times, the reason why Chen Long, Daddy, and Xiao Yu were able to turn the tide was because they were blessed with righteousness at the critical moment. In the original work, Chen Long had performed a series of dangerous actions such as high-altitude leaps and falling into the deep sea without any damage. But one day he accidentally stepped on Xiao Yu's toy and broke his bones. This shows the horror of righteousness. But fortunately, not everyone has the ability to accommodate a large amount of righteousness. At least in Link's opinion, the Bull Warrior does not have such conditions. After all, he was able to launch a heavy attack on friendly forces in many battles, and even had a record of pitting the talisman. Bull Warrior is not the kind of key figure who can accommodate a large amount of righteousness and often cheats. Mr. Link. Wulong opened his mouth, but thinking of his previous failed experience, he lowered his head and decided to seriously carry out the task of watching Xiao Yu. Seeing this, Link smiled, as long as Wulong obeyed. As long as Xiao Yu's cheating didn't come, the action of seizing the bull talisman would be a sure thing. Well, it's getting late now, Wulong, you should leave, and I'm going to meet the invincible Bull Warrior. Link took the dragon staff and cast a transformation spell on himself. The next moment, a man with muscles and a red hedgehog head appeared on the street and slowly walked towards the wrestling ring. At sunset, the wrestling ring. Unlike WWE's wrestling, which is mainly based on performance, the Bull Warrior wrestling match has always been famous for its authenticity. How real is it? It's so real that it only takes less than a minute for the Bull Warrior to defeat his opponent in a match, and then he can leave. The ticket money is mainly spent on watching the bikini hotties dancing for half an hour before the wrestling match starts. This rice is really easy to make money. Oh, he is indeed the most powerful Bull Warrior. The match just now was so exciting. With just one strike, the Bull Warrior knocked down his opponent. Let us congratulate the Bull Warrior for his success in winning all the matches. At the same time, cheer for him and applaud him. Accompanied by the cheers, a 1.9-meter tall muscular man in a black suit walked out of the back door of the wrestling arena. A thin little boy's eyes lit up when he saw the Bull Warrior coming out. Bull Warrior, you really succeeded. 100 matches and 100 wins, you are invincible. Can you sign for me? The little boy looked at the Bull Warrior's muscles with admiration. Of course, but Parker, at your age, you should watch less wrestling matches and learn more. The Bull Warrior picked up the pen and said helplessly while signing. Just then, a voice suddenly sounded from the side. Mr. Bull Warrior, can you sign for me? A red hedgehog-headed man handed a wrestling poster to the Bull Warrior, and a big red cross was drawn on the Bull Warrior's head on the poster. Just sign here for me. Looking at the poster of the Bull Warrior with a red cross in the hand of the red-haired hedgehog-headed man, the Bull Warrior naturally understood that the other party was not here with good intentions. At the same time, his eyes glanced around. There seemed to be someone hiding in the darkness of the alleys around. Parker, it's getting late, you should go home quickly. The Bull Warrior touched Parker's head and said slowly. The intuition of a professional wrestler told him that these people were coming for him. If Parker was involved, he would most likely be in danger. This was something that the Bull Warrior could never tolerate. Okay, see you tomorrow, Bull Warrior. Parker did not sense the danger and waved goodbye to the Bull Warrior happily. After he walked a long way, the three funny people in the dark, True, and the Shadow Ninjas came out. Some dense crowds surrounded the narrow alley, which made the Bull Warrior depressed. What do you want to see me for? The Bull Warrior fixed his eyes on the red-haired hedgehog-headed man, his hands slightly lowered, ready to fight at any time. Faced with the Bull Warrior's question, Link, who had transformed into Alfu, smiled and did not answer, but asked him a question instead. What do you think of a professional wrestler who won a match by taking drugs? What do you mean by that? After hearing this, the bull warrior frowned. Do you suspect that I have defiled the sacred wrestling arena? It's not suspicion, it's certainty. Now you have defiled the sacred wrestling arena in your mind. There is something more terrifying than the effect of stimulants on your mask. Link said with shining eyes. But don't worry, we are all good people and will help you solve this problem. After I take your mask away, you can enjoy fair wrestling to your heart's content. Haha, I don't understand what you are saying. The bull warrior looked at Link with a gloomy face and roared. The bull warrior never takes off his mask. If you want it, just let it go. He didn't know the spell power on his mask, and only thought that Link wanted to take the mask away and sell it for money. On the black market, it seems that many people have launched a bounty for his original mask. Hey, take off the bull warrior's mask for me. Seeing that the bull warrior had no intention of compromising, Link waved his hand helplessly. After receiving Link's order, the three lively guys who had been on standby walked towards the bull warrior with a smirk on their faces. Ah Fen, hand over the talisman obediently, and you can suffer less. Joe, otherwise, don't blame the electric swords in our hands for not having eyes. Lasu, bull warrior, you can wash your face after we take your mask away. As soon as Lasu finished speaking, the bull warrior patted his cheek, pounced, and punched Lasu in the air. When he was in the air, the bull talisman on the bull warrior's mask flashed. Bang! With just one punch, the 1.9-meter tall Lasu was knocked over, with stars in his eyes, and fell into the trash can beside him. There is no need to reason with people who defile the sacred wrestling field. Go together. Ah Fen and Joe shouted, waving electric swords and rushed up, but were kicked away by the bull warrior one by one. Who else? Bull warrior is never afraid of any challenge. Bull warrior roared, trying to show off. However, at this moment, the shadow ninja who had been in position on the side seized the opportunity and tied his big head with a hood. The next moment, the bull warrior only felt his face lighten, and the mask that he had determined to never take off was taken off directly. And it was soon delivered to Link by the shadow ninja. My mask. Seeing the mask taken away, the bull warrior's face turned red and angry, and kicked Link, who turned into Ah Fu. That's it. Facing the bull warrior who had lost the bull charm, Link was not panicked at all. He held the bull charm in his hand and took the full force of the bull warrior with a casual grip. Take my tornado and destroy the parking lot. Then, Link directly spun the bull warrior like a tablecloth, and then threw it hard. The tall and strong bull warrior was immediately thrown dozens of meters away by Link, and finally hit the wall and fainted. Mr. Link is so amazing. He succeeded in getting the talisman on his first move. Yeah, now we're making money. The three Lasu guys were talking to each other. It's not me who's amazing, it's Valone who's amazing. I didn't expect he could actually hold Xiao Yu back. Link clapped his hands and sighed. After letting Lasu and the others return first, he did not go back with them, but planned to stay in Mexico for a while. He wanted to meet the legendary savior. After all, he wanted to monopolize the black energy, and he probably needed the help of this savior in the future. In short, it's always right to go and have a look. The next morning, Mexico, wrestling arena. Last night, the news that the bull warrior was knocked unconscious in the alley after his mask was taken off outside the wrestling arena had spread all around. Everyone had different attitudes towards this matter. Some people thought that the bull warrior was just a name, and now his true colors were finally revealed. Some people also thought that the bull warrior was beaten up, which was why he was defeated. But no matter what, everyone agreed that the bull warrior was in big trouble this time, as he was beaten for no reason. Link, who was eating a chicken roll, didn't care about these people's opinions. Or, in other words, Link's opinion was exactly the opposite of others. In Link's opinion, it was not bad luck for the bull warrior to beat him up, but it was lucky for the bull warrior. Theoretically, the bull warrior should thank Link for beating him up. After all, the effect of the bull talisman far exceeds that of ordinary stimulants. Taking this power to fight on the stage, even if the bull warrior was not aware of this, it objectively tarnished the sacred stage in his heart. Link took the bull talisman away, which was the real way to help the Bull Warrior and help the Bull Warrior defend the sacred stage. He is simply a great good man. Ha, the savior is finally here. Just as Link was thinking about it, a girl in an orange jacket in the distance attracted his attention. The real protagonist Xiao Yu appeared. To say that the protagonist is indeed extraordinary. This is the first time Link has seen such a strong righteousness and black air hovering around Xiao Yu. The level of initiative is like seeing a goddess licking a dog. Hey there. Just when Link lamented that righteousness and blackness were shameless, Xiao Yu appeared in front of Link at some point and took the initiative to say hello to Link. What's the matter? Link looked at the girl in front of him in surprise. Xiao Yu actually took the initiative to find him. Could it be that his identity has been exposed and he is about to be beaten? Can I ask you something about the Ox Warrior? I heard that he was defeated by a mysterious man. Xiao Yu asked. Hearing Xiao Yu's words, Link immediately breathed a sigh of relief. His identity was not discovered. The first time he saw her, he denied the idea of being enemies. With righteousness and blackness appearing in this manner, Chen Xiaoyu's identity may be even more extraordinary than imagined. If I were to antagonize him, I'm afraid there would be nothing good to gain from him. Of course, my name is Link. What happened last night was like this. The despicable Black Hand Gang deliberately let Valone attack us to delay time, and then sent others to snatch the talisman away. Thank you, Link. Thank you for providing us with so much information. After listening to Link's vivid description, Xiao Yu was a little angry about Valone's attack on them, and on the other hand, she expressed her gratitude to Link. Link smiled and waved his hand. You're welcome. I feel honored to contribute to justice. Ha ha ha, that's right. But many times, although I also want to contribute, Uncle Long always dislikes me for being in the way. Xiao Yu sighed. She is indeed a child, but that doesn't mean she is useless. In the Chicken Talisman incident, she relied on the power of the Chicken Talisman to defeat True and save Uncle Long. As a result, she is still disliked in this way. Maybe it's because Uncle Long dislikes your power for being too weak. You can learn some kung fu to make yourself stronger, so that you can better protect yourself when you encounter danger. Link smiled and said. In the original novel, Xiao Yu's kung fu and magic talents are both at the level of cheating, and no matter which one she learns, she can become the top of the world. But compared to magic, Xiao Yu in the original novel is obviously more interested in kung fu. I have looked for Uncle Long, but he doesn't seem to want me to learn kung fu. At this point, Xiao Yu's expression became sad again. Just as she was about to complain to Link about how Uncle Long treated her, a voice that sounded very unlucky suddenly sounded from a distance. Xiao Yu, where have you been running around? Come back quickly. Link looked over and saw a big-nosed man in a blue long-sleeved shirt looking for Xiao Yu's traces. Chen Long. Link flashed a glimmer, then he turned his head and gave Xiao Yu a perfect smile. I'm sorry, I have something to do later and I have to leave first. Since Chen Long doesn't want you to learn kung fu, I have a book of basic physical fitness training for the Navy. Here, you can try to practice it. Thank you, Link. Hearing that the book in Link's hand was a martial arts secret book, Xiao Yu's eyes were full of expectations, and she quickly took the basic physical fitness training for the Navy in her hands. Xiao Yu, you are here. Chen Long walked over slowly and touched Xiao Yu's head. Didn't I ask you to wait for me here? We still have to find the talisman later. Please, Uncle Long, the talisman has been taken away by the Black Hand Gang for a long time, we can go back first. Xiao Yu clapped her hands helplessly and put the basic physical fitness training for the Navy, given by Link, into her backpack. This time, she was delayed by Valone, and the result was that the talisman was taken away by the Black Hand Gang, which really made her a little distressed. Now she had no choice but to go home with Chen Long. Goodbye, Link. Yeah, goodbye. After waving goodbye to Xiao Yu, Link fell into thought. If Link wants to complete the plan of monopolizing the black energy, he needs to complete 2 points. The first point is what Link has been doing, that is, to improve his strength as much as possible, so that the black energy will realize that he is a good seedling worth investing in. The second point is to kill the other guys who occupy the black energy share and take this part of the black energy for themselves. Now the 8 demons and the 10 generals of the Black Shadow Army are all sealed, so they have been occupying the black energy share. And if you want to completely kill these 8 demons and the 10 generals of the Black Shadow Army, you can't do without the help of Xiaoyu and other righteous camps. San Francisco, Dad's antique shop. Oh, Qianlong, you lost the talisman, this is a big trouble. Dad's somewhat piercing scream spread throughout the antique shop. After confirming that the bull talisman was taken away by the Black Hand Gang, he checked his collection of books day and night, trying to find clues about the talisman. After a period of hard work, he really discovered the situation. It turned out that 900 years ago, there was a demon named the Holy Lord who ruled the whole of Asia, causing great suffering to all living things. Finally, a saint named Lopez stood up and cast a magic spell to petrify the Holy Lord, and cast a spell to separate the Holy Lord's 12 kinds of magic into 12 talismans, which were scattered all over the world. Once the 12 talismans are reassembled for the Holy Lord, the other party can complete the resurrection and turn the world into the kingdom of the evil dragon again. Yin and Yang are out of balance, and the Black Hand must have reached a cooperation with the Holy Lord to help him find talismans all over the world to complete the resurrection. So, we have to snatch the talisman to prevent the Holy Lord from resurrecting. Qianlong asked a little confused. Dad snorted. Didn't you understand? The spell is not important, what's important is to find a way to target the Holy Lord. But how can we find a way to stop the Holy Lord? Do we have to ask the wizard who dealt with the Holy Lord for a solution? Why can't we just stop Black Hand from getting the spell? Wouldn't that prevent it from resurrecting? Qianlong was still confused. He didn't understand why he had to go far away to find a way to stop the Holy Lord that he didn't know existed when there was a better way. Well, just do your best. Seeing this, Dad shook his head helplessly, and memories of studying under the great wizard emerged in his mind. Based on the concept he learned when he was learning magic, the balance of yin and yang is never static, but a dynamic process. Therefore, the situation in the world will always present 3 different postures. There is a stable period of the world with complete balance of yin and yang, and there will be a prosperous period of the world dominated by righteousness, and there will naturally be a period of world decline dominated by black energy. In the eyes of Dad, the awakening of the Holy Lord in this era is a sign that the world is about to enter a stage of world decline dominated by black energy. In this stage of world decline, it is more difficult than ascending to heaven to prevent the resurrection of the Holy Lord. It is better to use this time to find a way to defeat the Holy Lord and quickly pass this period of world decline. However, Dad also thinks that it is not a bad thing to let Qianlong continue to collect talismans. At least Qianlong found some talismans, which can also delay the resurrection of the Holy Lord to a certain extent, providing him with more time to collect information. But will he be able to find a solution successfully if he tries hard? Thinking of this, Dad frowned. Although Dad's appearance is extremely calm, he still has doubts in his heart about whether he can fight against the real devil. But as an adult, he couldn't show a bit of weakness to the people around him. In this crisis, self-confidence is very important. Everything has its own principles of mutual growth and mutual restraint. Lope must have mastered the method of restraining the Holy Lord before sealing him. If there is any way I can ask Lope in person, that would be great. Black Hand Building. Link appeared in front of the Holy Lord with the bull talisman in his hand. Great, my apprentice, you helped me get the talisman, and now I am one step closer to resurrection. The Holy Lord's red eyes sparkled. The Black Shadow Ninja on the side came out and wanted to take the talisman from Link, but Link took a step back and avoided the grab of the Black Shadow Ninja. Link, what do you mean by this? After a brief pause, the Holy Lord asked with a slightly threatening tone. Master Holy Lord, the situation has changed. Before, a talisman was exchanged for a magic, because there was no danger at all when taking the talisman. But this action is too dangerous. Not only Qianlong and the righteous magician behind him, but also those humans who mastered the talisman are particularly dangerous. If Master Holy Lord does not give more benefits, it is difficult for me, your apprentice, to be interested in continuing to help you collect talismans. After listening, even if the Holy Lord's wisdom was worn out, he also heard what Link meant. Asshole, you are asking for a higher price. Extorting money. Facing the angry roar of the Holy Lord, Link was not afraid at all, and said calmly, what do you mean by asking for a higher price? I am just asking you to pay a reasonable fee. The Holy Lord was extremely angry, and wanted to attack Link directly and snatch the Bull Talisman. But in the end, it actually suppressed its anger. It recognized Link's ability. It snatched the Bull Talisman for the first time. Such an outstanding record naturally made the Holy Lord more patient with Link. And more importantly, the Holy Lord was not worried that Link would get out of his control because he was very weak. The Black Shadow Ninja was his eyes and ears, and he knew the role Link played in this operation very clearly, and basically completed the task by relying on wisdom. If Link was a tiger, then his willfulness would be resisted by the Holy Lord at this moment. But Link was just a cat, and his willfulness at this moment seemed to be no threat to the Holy Lord. "What do you want?" the Holy Lord asked. Link smiled and said, "I want your complete collection of black magic." "How do you know I have the complete collection of black magic?" The Holy Lord's eyelids jumped. Why does this kid seem to know everything? It's impossible to exchange a spell for the complete collection of black magic. You have to find me at least 2 more spells. Deal. Link's mouth curled up slightly. The complete collection of black magic they are talking about is the magic book with Terra on the cover in the original book, which eventually turned Xiaoyu into the Queen of Shadow. It records very complete black magic. Among them, what Link values most is the magic that allows the Holy Lord to control the Shadow Army and will not be affected by the mask. In this way, when he gets other masks in the future, he can use this magic to directly control the Shadow Army, and at the same time his mind will not be affected by the mask. You cunning kid. Seeing Link agree so generously, the Holy Lord knew that his offer was too high. A wave of anger surged in his heart again, but was suppressed by the Holy Lord. The Lord had already made plans for this little devil who was fleecing him. When it resurrects, it will not kill Link directly, but will take him as a servant, enslave him day and night, and let him serve him until his death. Okay, your Bull Talisman. The deal was done, and Link threw the Bull Talisman to the Lord. The next moment, a huge force filled the Lord's body, making him feel comfortable. Here is the giant power magic corresponding to the Bull Talisman. You can take it back and practice. Since the Bull Talisman has been obtained, the Lord also readily handed the giant power magic corresponding to the Bull Talisman to Link. Okay, Master Saint. After Link thanked the Lord, he did not stay any longer and prepared to leave the Black Hand building. As soon as he walked out of the door, he saw Valone and others who had just received boxes of gold treasures from the Black Shadow Corps, and were swimming on the treasures with excitement. Hearing the sound of the door opening, Valone turned his head and saw that it was Link, and immediately smiled. "Good morning, Mr. Link." The reason why they were able to obtain the Bull Talisman in this operation was inseparable from Link's advice. And it was precisely because of the success of this operation that Valone realized that perhaps his previous failure was not due to insufficient strength, but that their Black Hand did not have sufficient wisdom. Therefore, after this incident, Valone had the idea of recruiting Link to join the Black Hand gang. "Good morning." As Link greeted him, his expression when looking at Valone and others was also somewhat strange. Valone is indeed one of the destined villains in the original work. He can even complete the hell-level task of watching Xiaoyu. As for the 3 people of Lisu, although their combat effectiveness is average, their treasure-hunting ability is so powerful that it is a bit scary. They are even more accurate in finding various magic props. They are all lucky. But such a person is looked down upon by the Holy Lord, and even despised. It seems a pity that such a talent continues to hang out with the Holy Lord. Maybe I can consider taking him under my command. Mr. Valone, I want to talk to you about something. Valone was stunned when he heard that Link also wanted to talk to him about something. But he soon realized that this was a good opportunity to recruit Link. So, he immediately smiled and said, "Mr. Link, I just happened to have something to talk to you about." The two hit it off and came to a secret room. "Mr. Link, do you have something to talk to me about?" Valone asked curiously. He was also wondering why Link was looking for him. "Mr. Valone, I want to recruit you to be my subordinates." Link got straight to the point. As soon as this was said, Valone was instantly confused. "What, you want to recruit me too? Mr. Link, are you sure you are recruiting us, not us Black Hand recruiting you?" Valone smiled and said, "Although our Black Hand funds are not very rich, we don't recruit everyone. And if you are willing to join our Black Hand, "Mr. Link, we can give you this number, $10,000 a month, what do you think?" Vallone did not directly deny Link's words that he wanted to recruit him first. In the eyes of a money grubber like him, as long as the money is in place, everything is easy to say. The reason why he rejected Link was that he didn't think Link could pay that much. $10,000, Link repeated with a smile. Vallone thought Link was dissatisfied with the amount of money, so he continued to persuade him, "Mr. Link, $10,000 is already a lot. Even the secret agents in District 13 only make a few $1,000s a month. The salary and benefits of our Black Hand are definitely the best in the world." Hearing Vallone's confident speech, Link did not refute him, but slowly said, "It is not difficult for a black wizard to get money." The next moment, he waved his staff, and a green light suddenly shot towards Vallone. Puff! Accompanied by a burst of smoke, Vallone, who was originally in a green suit and white hair, immediately turned into the appearance of Sheriff Black. If you go to the bank to withdraw money in the appearance of Sheriff Black, it shouldn't be difficult, and even if it doesn't work, I have other ways to get money. Link showed a mysterious smile. In the original book, there is a magic item called Green Beard Gloves, which has the ability to automatically steal gold, silver and jewelry every night. As long as he can get this magic item, Link will basically not be short of money, at least there will be no problem in supplying Black Hand's daily operations. How could it be? Vallone's pupils shrank slightly. When he looked at himself in the mirror and saw that he actually looked like Sheriff Black, a trace of disbelief flashed in his eyes. As the boss of Black Hand, Vallone has a lot of experience in the road of crime. Naturally, he knows how much money this ability to change appearance at will can make. There are 9 ways to make a lot of money in his mind. I didn't expect there is such a black magic. Not only is the degree of change very high, the speed is very fast, and more importantly, it doesn't cost money. Vallone took a deep breath and tried to calm himself down, but the smile at the corner of his mouth betrayed his mood. He turned his head to look at Link, and there was still a little shock in his eyes. Now he believes that it is not difficult for Link to make money. The Holy Lord may be very rich and have treasures that are rich enough to rival a country, but those treasures are not only impossible to regenerate resources, but also there are considerable risks in selling them. And Link's method of changing his posture at will can not only be used for robbery, fraud, theft and other ways, but also belongs to a renewable method, and has a very high safety factor and strong operability. In this way, accepting Link's recruitment is not something unacceptable. I'm willing to join you. Vallone knelt on one knee and performed the knight's salute, which meant that he would be loyal to Link, or he would be loyal to money. I didn't expect it to be so easy to succeed. This time, the recruitment of Black Hand was much smoother than expected. Link, who had just booked a cheap room in the hotel, smiled. After successfully recruiting Vallone, some of his tedious matters could be handed over to him, and he could save time for cultivation. Speaking of cultivation, since helping the Holy Lord successfully regain the Bull Talisman, Link found that he had been rewarded with black energy, so that his own magic power was actually improved again. If all his magic power at this moment is converted into chakra, the final chakra amount is about 0.6 cards. In the world of Chen Long's adventure, it has far exceeded the level of ordinary senior black energy wizards, second only to the top black energy wizards such as Daolong. And with the magic taught by the Holy Lord himself, in terms of combat power, Link's strength is not low. After all, the number of magics he mastered may not be much, but the quality of magic is the best. The magics corresponding to the 12 spells are feared by the 900-year-old Saint Seiya Lopez, who specially cast magic to transform his divine power into spells. They are the best magics in the world. Once mastered, the strength will be explosively improved. So, you have to practice diligently, Link thought. With the talent shared by 4 Links, it is not difficult for him to use magic now. But it is not possible to fully master these magics. In the original work, Xiaoyu and Toru have mastered the rabbit spell. However, the two showed completely different effects in the use of the rabbit spell. In Xiaoyu's hands, she can use the rabbit spell to throw the Black Shadow army around, run on the water, and even travel through time and space in special circumstances. As a result, in Toru's hands, it looks clumsy. It can be seen that even if everyone can use magic, different proficiency will cause a considerable gap. Therefore, Link also wants to be as proficient in these magics as possible, and even wants to optimize and develop these magics. Now Link has mastered 3 kinds of spell magic. They are the extreme speed magic corresponding to the rabbit spell, the laser eye magic corresponding to the pig spell, and the giant power magic corresponding to the cow spell that he recently obtained. Among these 3 kinds of magic, Link feels that the magic with the most potential should be the extreme speed magic corresponding to the rabbit spell. The essence of extreme speed magic is to accelerate the whole body. It should not only be used in movement, but also to speed up one's own attack speed. Link said to himself, if he wants to achieve this, he first needs to adapt himself to this extreme speed state. Coming to an uninhabited open space, Link held the staff, exhaled lightly, and began to exercise. According to Link's theoretical conjecture, there are 3 stages of extreme speed magic. The key core of the first stage is to make your reaction keep up with the extreme speed brought by the rabbit spell. At least you can't be unable to stop the car, try not to let the rabbit spell affect you, and at the same time, you can use the speed of the rabbit spell to increase your own attack power. As for the second stage, it is an upgraded version of the first stage, that is, perfectly controlling the normal rabbit spell to speed up. It allows you to change your punching speed, casting speed, etc. at will. You can be fast if you want, slow if you want. As for the third stage, it depends on personal talent and some opportunities. Let the speed magic be promoted to super speed magic, and the highest speed that can be achieved is the speed of light. Once successful, Link can travel through time and space like Xiao Yu in the original work. It's just that being promoted to this level is basically a matter of chance. At least Link doesn't think that he can reach the third stage of this speed magic just by practicing. He only needs to reach the imagined second stage to be satisfied. While Link used the speed magic, he kept punching the tree. If there were outsiders watching at this moment, they would probably only see a shadow passing by, and the tree was shaking and trembling. This exercise lasted for several hours, until Link stopped when his mana was almost exhausted. After returning to the hotel to eat, he returned to this place to continue practicing after his mana was almost restored. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. As time went by, Link's mastery of speed magic gradually became smoother from the roughness at the beginning. Until one day, Link punched out thousands of times, and still maintained perfect coordination at the speed, and then stopped. That's the feeling. Link's eyes lit up slightly, and he carefully recalled the state just now, and then tried again, and he was still able to achieve perfect coordination. After trying dozens of times in a row, allowing his body to completely remember this feeling, Link finally breathed a sigh of relief. The first stage of practicing speed magic is completed. Link is undoubtedly very happy about the improvement of strength. But there are more things to be happy about than just the improvement of strength. Not long ago, he fished out the green-beard gloves from the ocean. And with the gold and silver jewelry he got from the green-beard gloves, he completely made Valone decide to be loyal to him. After mastering the resources of the Black Hand, Link began to recruit a large number of new people. Black Tiger AFU is Link's newly recruited thug. In the original work, he is the king of chatter who will appear later, but now because of Link's early recruitment, he joined the Black Hand earlier. As one of the best martial artists in the original work, AFU is undoubtedly the combat power in the villain camp. Link even found that AFU actually had a lot of black energy on his body. The total amount of black energy on his body far exceeds that of the current live treasure trio. Even higher than True, basically the same amount of black energy on Valone. It is true that in the later period of the original work, AFU may have failed too many times, causing the black energy to leave him disappointed. This made him gradually fall from a character who crushed Qianlong at the beginning to a funny character. But at least at this moment, Ah Fu's strength is definitely at its peak, and he must be a very capable subordinate. In addition to Ah Fu, the Ice Trio that appeared in the late stage of the original work was also taken in by Link. From the plot point of view, the Ice, Boxer, and Viper Trio is a bit like an enhanced version of the live treasure trio. In the original work, the 3 of them are not only powerful fighters who have learned Kung Fu in a temple, but also rare mechanics in Qianlong's adventures. The 3 of them built a submarine with waste from the garbage dump, which is definitely a high-end talent. After recruiting so many talents, Link no longer needs to do everything himself, and some things can be directly handed over to his subordinates. The next goal is to get 2 talismans as soon as possible and get them from the Holy Lord. First, Link recalled the locations of the 12 talismans. Among them, the 3 talismans of Pig, Rabbit, and Cow have been obtained, and the Chicken talisman belongs to District 13. Among the remaining 8 talismans, only the Snake talisman and the Dragon talisman are relatively easy to find. The Snake talisman is located in the cave of Anekda Falls. Even if you can't get it at the first time, it will appear in the museum later, so it is not difficult to steal it. The Dragon talisman is located in an unknown volcano. Although there are many volcanoes in this world, according to the performance in the original book, there is still magma in the volcano. This shows that the volcano with the Dragon talisman is likely to be a dormant volcano, and the range has been narrowed a lot. Let the other people of Black Hand slowly search. As for the remaining talismans, the Rat talisman appeared on a table lamp at the auction. The Monkey talisman is in the sea, the Sheep talisman is on a train, the Horse talisman is in the Snow Mountain, the Tiger talisman is in the Cake Pie, and the Dog talisman is in the windmill. The difficulty of finding it cannot be said to be very great, but it depends on luck. Since it takes 2 talismans to exchange for the Black Magic Encyclopedia from the Holy Lord, Link adheres to the principle of starting with the easy and then the difficult. He planned to first seize the Snake and Dragon spells, which were easier to obtain, and then get the complete collection of black magic. AFU, my lord, just tell me what you want to do. You lead the members of the Black Hand to search for the whereabouts of the dragon spell in craters around the world. After saying that, Link waved the staff in his hand. The next moment, a ray of light carrying black air merged into Afu's body. Afu's originally sturdy figure swelled up again, full of power. This is an ability that Link naturally learned after becoming a senior black air wizard. The principle is to divide a part of the black air represented by oneself and give it to his subordinates, thereby enhancing the power of his subordinates. It is equivalent to Daolong being able to turn humans into dark killers, and the demon dragon turning the ice trio into dragon men. Thank you, Master. Feeling that he has become more powerful, Afu's eyes revealed shock and his attitude towards Link became more respectful. As a martial arts fanatic, Afu has an almost paranoid pursuit of becoming stronger. In the original book, as long as there is a chance to become stronger, Afu is willing to do anything. When he was transformed into a dark killer by Daolong, Qianlong persuaded him. However, even if Afu knew that he was being used, he would do anything to gain power. Seeing Afu's attitude, Link nodded with satisfaction. If you can bring the dragon spell safely, I will give you more power. I will definitely complete the task. After Afu finished his respectful salute, he led the newly joined ice trio to the craters of various places. Link himself turned into the appearance of Balone again, and took the Hubao trio and True to Anekda Falls. Dad's antique shop. Oh, it seems that Dad is too old. He is like those antiques. He will break if touched. Dad's old voice revealed full of fatigue. Dad, are you okay? Or you should take a rest. Qianlong looked at Dad with a worried face. Since the cow charm was stolen, Dad seemed to have foreseen some danger and searched for various books day and night for several days. Dad was already old, and his body was not as strong as when he was young. If he continued to stay up late every day, Qianlong was very worried that something would happen to his dad. Bang! Dad hit Qianlong on the head with a finger, causing Qianlong to scream in pain. Dad must take a break, but you have to go get the snake charm back now. After that, Dad pointed to the crucible beside him. The green snake charm flashed in the green decoction of the crucible, and then a waterfall appeared. This is the location of the snake charm that Dad sensed with magic. I know, Dad. Qianlong nodded seriously, then turned to Xiaoyu and said, Xiaoyu, stay in the antique shop and don't run around, so as not to get into danger. During this period of time, he learned from Sheriff Black that Black Hand had recently expanded its recruitment, and it seemed that many talented people had joined Black Hand. And in several robberies in San Francisco, Black Hand showed extraordinary tactical qualities and magical abilities. It can be said that the Black Hand is no longer the Black Hand that was easily defeated by wipers and salted fish. They have been enhanced to an epic level. In this case, Qianlong was naturally worried about Xiaoyu going on an adventure with him, fearing that Xiaoyu would be hurt. The Boy Scout promises. Facing Chen Long's serious words, Xiao Yu responded with a seemingly obedient face. However, when Chen Long left with satisfaction and began to pack his luggage, she showed a cunning smile on her face. But I'm not a Boy Scout. Chapter 11. Anekda Falls. Link led the trio of fully armed living treasures and Toru to the waterfall. With the green beard gloves, Link basically doesn't need to worry about money. The tactical clothing and electric lightsaber are all fully loaded, at least in terms of look and feel, it is much more powerful. It is a pity that their intelligence cannot be improved with money. Speaking of which, boss, why did you come here looking for a charm dressed like this? The three living treasures looked at Link, who was wearing a black robe and a mask, with curious expressions on their faces. Because I want to be a good person, I can't use my identity when I do bad things. Link replied confidently. As for why he doesn't use the transformation technique to disguise himself, the main reason is that he still has a 1.5 times speed magic. This is a training method developed by Link. Keeping his body in an accelerated state for a long time can help Link better adapt to the acceleration of speed magic. The price is that Link's mana is consumed all the time, causing him to use other magic sparingly to avoid running out of mana. True, give me the spell tracker. Okay boss. True slowly took out the spell tracker with 4 dragon heads from his overalls and handed it to Link. Link took the tracker. The next moment, one of the dragon heads on the spell tracker lit up, pointing to a cave in the waterfall. It seems that the Holy Lord's power has recovered well, and the breath of the spell can be sensed from such a distance. Let's go. Now that he had confirmed which cave entrance the snake talisman was at, Link immediately walked into the cave with the living treasure trio and True. Not long after Link and others entered the cave, a man with a big nose also came under the waterfall. After careful observation, he entered another branch. After about another minute, a petite figure saw that the big-nosed man had gone off the road, and then followed him quietly. Inside the cave. Boss, can you get lost even with a spell tracker? Rasu asked with confusion as he looked at the black hand mark made 10 minutes ago in front of him. The boss obviously had a spell tracker in his hand, but they walked into the cave for more than 10 minutes, and they were still running in circles. Ahem, if it weren't for the fear of collapse, I would have used laser eyes to open the way. That's good, you can use the spell tracker to investigate. Link coughed a few times and decisively ignored Rasu. Lasu still wanted to speak, but he was pulled by Ah Fen on the side. The first rule of the Black Hand, never question the boss. Joe took the spell tracker from Link and said, sorry boss, it's our problem. Then keep going down. Yes. Just as Link was changing people, at the other end of the cave, the girl was looking around with a flashlight. Suddenly a pair of big hands patted her shoulder. Ah, the Black Hand Gang. The girl reacted instantly and accurately hit the man behind her in the crotch with an extremely standard roundhouse kick. Ah, what are you doing, Xiao Yu? Uncle Long, how could it be you? Looking at Chen Long who was curled up, Xiao Yu blinked and said innocently, sorry, Uncle Long. I thought he was from the Black Hand Gang. Oh, it hurts. Xiao Yu, who taught you to attack this part of a man? Well, I taught myself. Xiao Yu's eyes were a little erratic and she responded perfunctorily. In fact, she saw this move from the basic physical training of the Navy, given to her by Link. Although most of this book, Basic Physical Training of the Navy, teaches how to better develop your body, it also contains some simple and practical combat tips. Uncle Long, are you feeling better? Xiao Yu asked with concern. She had read in the book that if a man was hit hard, he would lose his fighting power for a long time. Fortunately, Chen Long was not an ordinary person. He almost recovered after just resting for a few minutes. It's okay, it doesn't hurt that much anymore. Chen Longgang wanted to educate Xiao Yu, but Xiao Yu interrupted him in advance. Uncle Long, look at this picture. Xiao Yu pointed to the mural on the stone wall. Chen Long frowned when he saw the mural. Based on his many years of tomb robbing and archaeological experience, there seemed to be something wrong with this mural. There are gaps around the mural, as if it were a button. Bang! Chen Long stepped forward and touched the mural. The moment his hand touched the mural on the stone wall dented. At the same time, the entire cave began to shake violently. The stone wall slowly sank, and a dark new hole appeared in front of them. Wow, the cave is open. Xiao Yu's eyes lit up. The two walked in with flashlights and discovered that this place turned out to be an abandoned temple. There are also some ancient texts engraved on the walls of the temple. This place is a place where demons are sealed. Outsiders, please leave quickly, otherwise the guards of the temple will devour you. Chen Long was looking at the words on the wall. Xiao Yu, with sharp eyes, looked around and instantly discovered the snake charm on the dome. Uncle Long, look, it's snake eyes. Don't worry, it's not a real snake. You stay here and wait for me. Chen Long took a deep breath and grabbed the green vine to climb up. However, the moment he grabbed the vine, there was a hissing sound all around. The vines slowly raised their heads. These were not vines, but snakes. Ah, tough luck, tough luck, tough luck, Chen Long shouted, grabbing the tail of the green snake and swinging it all the way to the dome, and then took off the snake charm. Call. After getting the talisman, Chen Long finally breathed a sigh of relief. However, what he didn't expect was that the moment he took off the charm, the temple floor collapsed. Xiao Yu didn't have time to react, she just felt a light tap on her foot and fell into a big pit with a pop. Xiao Yu. Chen Long saw Xiao Yu falling and jumped down quickly. Are you okay? I'm fine, but there's another big guy here. Xiao Yu pointed behind Chen Long. Chen Long turned his head and saw a giant green snake with a body length of more than 20 meters suddenly appeared behind him. Its mouth is almost the size of an adult. This is the temple guard. Chen Long thought of the ancient writings on the wall just now. If he guessed correctly, this giant snake should be a guard whose protective charm would not be taken away. Hiss. Seeing the snake charm in Chen Long's hand, the giant snake raised its whole body. The next moment, he rushed towards Chen Long. Tough luck, tough luck, tough luck. Chen Long held the talisman and used the surrounding stone pillars to move around to avoid attacks. However, the dexterity of this giant snake is not weaker than that of Chen Long. After chasing each other for a while, the giant snake successfully threw Chen Long to the ground and then bit him. Uncle Long. Seeing that Chen Long was in danger, Xiao Yu desperately jumped on the giant snake and beat it with her fists to try to stop it from attacking Chen Long. But she only hindered him for a moment, and then was thrown away. Moreover, the giant snake's eyes fell on Xiao Yu, and it instantly changed its target and pounced towards Xiao Yu. No, Xiao Yu. Chen Long wanted to stop the giant snake, but the distance between him and Xiao Yu was too far. Seeing Xiao Yu about to be swallowed by the giant snake, a trace of despair flashed in Chen Long's eyes. If he had known this, he would never have brought Xiao Yu here. The beast is looking for death. Just when the giant snake's fangs were about to touch Xiao Yu, a cold voice sounded from the side. As soon as he finished speaking, a laser beam instantly fell on the giant snake, scorching its scales. The severe pain made the giant snake unable to control Xiao Yu for the time being. Immediately afterwards, Chen Long saw the trio of living treasures, True and a mysterious man in black robes appearing in front of him. It can be seen that they were the ones who rescued Xiao Yu just now. The Black Hand can actually save people. Are you guys okay? Link, who was wearing a black robe, helped Xiao Yu up from the ground. Thank you, Black Hand. Chen Long quickly ran to Xiao Yu's side. After confirming that the other party had not been harmed in any way, he thanked the gangsters with great gratitude. Hearing Chen Long's thanks, Lisu blushed and touched his head. It's all thanks to the boss. No need to thank you, just hand over the snake charm. Toru, who was on the side, walked to Chen Long with a fierce look on his face. He was about to take action but was stopped by Link again. Don't rush to grab the talisman yet. Just keep an eye on them and I'll go talk to the giant snake. After saying that, Link jumped up, and a golden light flashed in his eyes again. Hiss. Faced with the threat of Link's laser eyes, the giant snake still did not flinch, but continued to rush towards Link. It seems I'm not proud enough, Link thought to himself. The next moment, a laser shot out of his eyes. This time the power of his laser eyes was even more amazing. Just one blow pierced the giant snake's tail, leaving a hollow wound. Oh my god, this guy can also shoot laser eyes, Xiao Yu on the side exclaimed. At first she thought the laser that saved her was fired from some kind of weapon. After all, she had seen similar new weapons like this in District 13, so it was natural for her to think that Black Hand also had such weapons. As a result, she is now told that this attack was actually released by humans. Laser eyes. Could it be that Black Hand has obtained the rest of the talismans in advance? Is this the ability of the other talismans? Chen Long couldn't believe it, but he felt vaguely in his heart that it was true. After some popular science from his father, he now understands the importance of spells. He didn't know how many spells Black Hand had now. But there is no doubt that he will never allow any more spells to fall into the hands of evil hands. Xiaoyu, run! Chen Long didn't dare to face Link, a ruthless man who could kill a giant snake dozens of meters tall. Once the opponent frees his hands, he will definitely escape. So, he held the snake charm tightly, pulled up Xiaoyu, and tried to escape quickly while Link had no time to deal with them. Chen Long, where do you want to go? Before Chen Long could run away, True seemed to have predicted it in advance, and his huge body had already blocked Chen Long's only way to escape. However, before he could be happy for a long time, he saw the green light of the snake charm flashing. The figures of Chen Long and Xiaoyu disappeared from the spot, leaving Toru standing there looking confused. Chen Long, True looked around. Seeing this scene, Chen Long, who didn't know what happened, was also confused. Is Toru blind, or was Toru trying to trick him? Wouldn't he just stand in front of the other party? Uncle Long, it's not that True is blind, it's that we are invisible. At this time, the clever Xiaoyu was the first to figure out the situation. She pointed at the puddle on the ground. The reflection that was supposed to appear on the puddle had completely disappeared. Xiaoyu guessed that it was because they accidentally used the power of the snake charm. Let's go. Chen Long picked up Xiaoyu and ran outside. No matter what happened, the situation at the moment is to run first and then talk. Do you want to continue fighting? Let me explain in advance that my patience is limited. Now I only give you two choices, surrender or die. Link said to the giant snake with an indifferent expression. The reason why it was spared in the first place was because of its outstanding combat power and extraordinary intelligence. But now that Chen Long has escaped, if he delays it any longer, he might be able to escape and bring the snake charm back to District 13. He doesn't have that much time to wait for the giant snake to change its mind. Hiss. Facing Link's ultimatum, the giant snake's eyes were full of fear. The laser just now had already made it smell the smell of death. It has great wisdom and naturally understands that if it does not choose to surrender, the outcome waiting for it is death. As a living thing, survival is its instinct. Even the Holy Lord was willing to help his father, his mortal enemies, to deal with his son, the demon Xiaolong, in order to recover his body and survive better. It doesn't seem strange that the giant snake chose to surrender. But the moment the laser eyes grazed its scalp, the giant snake decisively chose to lower its proud head and surrender to Link. Uncle Long, we have been running for so long, Black Hand shouldn't be able to catch up, right? Why don't you take a rest? Xiaoyu asked looking at the panting Chen Long. No, this snake charm must not be obtained by Black Hands. We have to go back as quickly as possible and place it in District 13. While Chen Long was talking, a gust of wind suddenly passed by. Chen Long seemed to feel something and turned his head suddenly, only to see a pair of golden eyes under the black robe looking at him. Mr. Chen Long, where are you going? Chen Long's pupils shrank, obviously not expecting the current situation. Ah. Can you see me? Mr. Chen Long, you are just invisible, but you have not completely disappeared. No spell can escape the tracking of this thing. Link laughed, took out the spell tracker from his arms, and slowly pointed the dragon head to where Chen Long was. If Link were asked to choose the strongest spell, it would be hard for Link to choose. The mouse spell that turns stillness into movement, the dragon spell with infinite power, and the dog spell that is immune to death are all extremely powerful. But if Link is asked to choose the weakest spell, he will choose the snake spell without hesitation. The ability of this spell can only make people invisible. Its own breath cannot be concealed, and there is no way to block the perception of magic. The way to use it is very narrow, and its ability is obviously inferior to that of other spells. Do you want to give me the spell yourself, or do you want me to do it myself? Link asked Chen Long with a relaxed look. In fact, he has already sensed that the righteousness around him is constantly pouring into Xiaoyu's body. Once he takes it by force, he is more likely to be harmed by the righteousness. The rules of this world are so shameless. If you can't beat them, you can cheat. Even if you have the upper hand, you won't give up. Bad review. The spell is for you. Qianlong gritted his teeth, and after a moment of silence, he still threw the snake spell in his hand to Link. The strength of the mysterious man in front of him is too strong. Even the giant snake is not his opponent, let alone him. What's more, Xiao Yu is still beside him. What if he attacks Xiao Yu? A wise choice. Link smiled slightly. Just when Qianlong made the decision to give in, the positive energy around him stopped flowing into his body. Since his goal had been achieved, there was no need for him to continue wasting time here. He turned around and planned to leave. At this moment, Qianlong suddenly called him. Mafia friend, I know you just want to make money, but do you know what will happen if you give the talisman to the Holy Lord? As soon as these words came out, Link stopped immediately. He turned his head and said to Qianlong, Mr. Qianlong, perhaps you are the one who hinders the arrival of peace. It won't be long before I will bring eternal peace. Look forward to seeing you next time, both of you. Link waved to the two of them, and then disappeared from the spot. Beautiful country, Black Hand building. Great Link, you are indeed my apprentice. I knew I was right about you. The Holy Master in the room looked at the snake and dragon talismans in Link's hand, and his mouth was about to drool. It never expected that under the leadership of Link, the collection of mafia spells would go so smoothly. He asked Wolong's ancestors to collect a single talisman that had not been successfully collected for 900 years. In just half a month, he actually collected 2 more talismans. Now it is a little confused whether to turn this brat into its servant after its resurrection. After all, this kid did make a lot of contributions to his resurrection. Master Holy Lord, don't try to refuse the black magic encyclopedia you promised. Otherwise, I won't give you the spell. While the Holy Master was thinking, Link held the talisman in his hand vigilantly. Of course I haven't forgotten it. I asked the Black Shadow Ninja to take it out of my library a long time ago. Seeing Link's virtue, the Holy Master had a trace of disgust in his eyes, and the trace of sympathy that had finally arisen disappeared instantly without a trace. This greedy brat must be punished in the future. This is the complete collection of black magic that I promised you. I also give you the magic training corresponding to the 2 talismans of Snake and Dragon. Although he scolded Link, a greedy brat, in his heart, the Holy Lord still maintained the appearance of everyone being a family and gave him what he promised Link. After receiving the Encyclopedia of Dark Arts, Link did not forget to check it. It was confirmed that it was Terra's big face, and the Holy Lord did not fool him. Ha ha ha, Master Holy Lord, you have a good rest, and I will go back and study black magic first, and try to help you lift the seal as soon as possible. Now that he has obtained the Encyclopedia of Black Magic, there is no need for him to stay here any longer. Ever since, Link found a reason and left directly, arriving at a hotel owned by Black Hand. It was getting late today, so Link put on his pajamas for the first time in a long time and lay calmly on the soft bed. If it were before, he would never dare to fall asleep like this. But now his strength is not what it used to be. Naturally, he doesn't have to hide and worry like before. He can calm down and enjoy his sleep. In his sleep, Link's spiritual consciousness returned to the palace along with the gray fog. When he opened his eyes, in addition to the familiar trio of pirates, Full-Time Hunter, and Hokage Link, he saw a spherical creature. What is this guy? Don't look at me like that, I understand what you mean, come here and give me a fist bump and I'll understand. The spherical creature sighed. After listening, the 4 people came over and fist bumped with each other, sharing memories again. After a while, Qianlong Adventure Link stared at the latter in great surprise. It turns out that this spherical creature Link is actually a rolling ballman from the Digimon world. So you can evolve into a celestial beast? Link, the Full-Time Hunter, also asked with a surprised look on his face. Please, the evolutionary route is different. Link, the rolling ball beast, said angrily, do you think it's possible? Everyone is Link, and Link, the rolling ball beast, naturally knows what Link, the Full-Time Hunter, is thinking. Even if he really had the chance to become a celestial beast, he wouldn't change it. To prevent other Links from saying, brother, you smell so good, and then rushing over to take advantage of him. Hearing the words of rolling ball beast Link, Naruto Link smiled awkwardly and suppressed the words he just wanted to say. So, he quickly changed the topic and said, "Anyway, Link came back and got us a lot of good things this time. Not to mention all kinds of magic, my current chakra level alone is enough to make me an elite Junin. The number one in the ninja school is definitely not Kakashi." Quote. Pirate Link smiled mysteriously at this moment. Good brothers, don't bother checking Link's memories in Qianlong's adventures. Could it be that you don't want to take a look at the good things I brought you? Hearing Pirate Link's words, the other Links present were a little confused at first, and then after rummaging through their memories, they all showed expressions of surprise. Hotkey Training Manual. Are you sure we can practice domineering in other worlds? Naruto Link asked with some confusion. It should be no problem. After our Link's physiques are superimposed on each other, although some of the combat power will be suppressed due to the different rules of the world, we can still possess some of the unique talents of the other Links. The Adventures of Qianlong, Link said slowly. In his own world, he had tried to imitate the three-body technique of Naruto's world. Although the effect is a little more obscure and difficult to use than what Naruto Link himself used, and it consumes more energy than using chakra, it can still be used. It can be seen that even in a different world, abilities can still be displayed. It is a matter of conversion efficiency. The harvest this time is not small. Link, a full-time hunter, said with a smile. The Hokage Link on the side glanced at the full-time hunter Link and said, "I hope you can share something useful with us next time." Pirate Link smiled and said, "Okay, my training speed has been increased 5 times, and I also need a bicycle. Let's not talk anymore. I have already caught the first head of Luffy. I have to get up early to accept the commendation ceremony tomorrow, so I say goodbye first." Quote. Then let's all go back. I hope everyone can be safe and bring back good things to share with the brothers. Okay, see you next time. With a wave of farewell, Link and his friends soon returned to their respective worlds. In the pirate world, a branch in the East China Sea. Congratulations to Link for successfully capturing the traitor Axe Monka and being promoted to colonel. I hope you can continue to work hard and make more contributions to justice. Thank you, sir, I will work hard. Looking at Link receiving the reward on the stage, the other Navy officers in the audience were envious and jealous. Because Link's achievement should actually belong to a pirate group called Straw Hat Boy. If Link had captured Axe Monka with his own ability, they would not be so jealous. But Link, this kid, happened to miss the credit of a pirate, which made them unacceptable. Why is Link so lucky? The monthly salary of a colonel is twice ours, I'm so envious. He actually relied on a pirate to gain credit, what a shameless boy. The Navy in the audience was talking about it, but Link on the stage didn't care about their comments at all. These guys don't understand the true meaning of winning by doing nothing. In the pirate world, although the Navy is a good profession, the higher the rank, the better the treatment, but at the same time, you may also face harassment from the Celestial Dragons. The higher the position and the stronger the Navy, the more likely it is to receive the task of protecting the Celestial Dragons, and it is easy to be disgusted. And he followed Luffy to pick up credit. Not only can he improve his rank, but also enjoy better treatment. Those guys in the Navy headquarters also know what his real strength is like. Even if he has a high position, he doesn't need to perform the task of accompanying the Celestial Dragons as a bodyguard. The treatment is increased, and there is no need to take responsibility. How can you get such a good thing by other ways of promotion? The sea breeze blows and white gulls break through the waves. Just after receiving the award, Link rushed to Orange Town, the island occupied by Bucky the Clown. He had no choice, and he didn't want to be so busy. After all, he had to take over the defeated clown Bucky and his gang in the first place to be considered as meritorious. If you don't hurry up, you may not even get a hot bite. Logically speaking, as an intern of the Roger Pirates, Bucky the Clown should be quite famous in the Navy. But in fact, the government only offered a reward of 15 million belly. I really can't understand it. Quote. Link looked at Bucky the Clown's bounty and muttered to himself. In fact, he has always been a little surprised by the price of Bucky the Clown's bounty. After all, as a former crew member on the Pirate King's ship, Bucky the Clown is naturally likely to know the truth about Ralph Drew. But the bounty given to him by the world government is just to treat him as an ordinary pirate, and to reward him according to his strength. You must know that the bounty issued by the bounty order is sometimes not based on strength, but on the degree of threat to the world government. I think Robin, who was so helpless back then, could have offered a bounty of 79 million. Then Bucky the Clown, who has the potential to learn the truth about Rafteru and is also the red-haired best friend of the 4 emperors, shouldn't be asking for a reward of 50 million, right? However, the fact is that the world government seems not to notice him and allows him to run around. Not to mention offering a reward, or even sending people to keep an eye on him. I guess the people in the world government really didn't investigate Bucky's details carefully. It could also be that Bucky's overbearing luck is at work, secretly allowing himself to develop in a favorable direction. Link thought with an evil smile. However, since it is one of the achievements that will fall into my hands, Bucky's identity must be exposed. The warships equipped by the Navy are faster than ordinary pirate ships and merchant ships. They set off from Branch 153 in the morning and arrived at Orangetown at noon. Colonel, we have arrived at our destination. I need to remind you that this place is now the territory of Bucky the Clown. That guy is a devil fruit user and is very difficult to mess with. Please be careful. A Marine from Branch 153 under Link hesitated for a moment, but finally stepped forward to remind him. After Link was promoted to Colonel, he managed Branch 153, which was the naval branch where Monka the Great Axe was. A considerable number of conscientious sailors in Branch 153 could not stand what Menka did. But limited by their status and strength, they were unable to resist. And just today Link took over this branch. The first thing he did after taking office was to make up for the original Shields Town residents as much as possible. The second thing was to come over to attack Bucky the Clown, which made these Marines whose blood had not yet cooled down realize that their new boss was not the fool before. Although they all knew that Link was able to capture Monka because he was taking advantage of the Straw Hat Pirates, they were still willing to believe and follow Link, and began to worry about Link's safety. Don't worry. No matter how powerful the clown Bucky is, as a just Marine, I will definitely bring him to justice. Link said with mock indignation. In fact, he is not afraid of Bucky the Clown. Just after sharing the rest of Link's abilities and energy last night, the armament color and knowledge color hockey in his body had completed their preliminary awakening. At the same time, Link also learned all 6 Navy styles overnight with his 5 times shared talent. Not to mention its combat power in this barren East China Sea. Even if it is placed in the first half of the Great Shipping Route, it can be regarded as one of the top batch. Only the monsters in the New World can bring him any threat. With Bucky's strength in the original work, he really can't threaten Link. Unless Bucky the Clown really hides himself like some fan fiction, I basically won't encounter any threats. Link muttered to himself, bid farewell to the sailors, and slowly set foot on Orangetown. At the same time, a high-rise building in Orangetown. A group of pirates who looked like circus clowns were surrounding an orange-haired girl and brought her in front of a cannon. Young ladies, let her see the power of our special Bucky bullets. Among the pirates, a man with a red nose and a skull painted on his face was laughing wildly. Wow, boss is so powerful. With this Bucky bomb, our pirate group will be the most powerful pirate group in the East China Sea. Even if the dragon pirates come, they are no match for us. All the pirates cheered loudly. Haha, Nami, since you plan to join our Bucky pirates, let me show you the power of this Bucky bullet. Bucky the Clown glanced at the orange-haired girl next to him with disdain. The other party not only brought the former captain to him, but also wanted to join his pirate group. Although Bucky the Clown has seemingly agreed to the girl's joining, in fact he has included her on his death list in his heart. This is because Nami's behavior is actually a taboo for pirates. The so-called pirates themselves are a group of lawless and daring people. They will do almost anything as long as it is profitable. The bottom line can be said to be infinitely low. The same can be said for Bucky the Clown. But even such a lowly and shameless pirate has a bottom line that he must never cross, that is, he must never betray his companions. A guy with a history of betrayal will not be trusted by him. Therefore, when Nami brought the former captain to him, he no longer trusted him. The so-called agreement to the other party to join was just to play with the other party and see the other party's interesting expression. Little ones, load the cannon. Nami, you first learn how to fire the cannon, and then you will use this cannonball to send your former captain to the sky. Watching the pirates under his command put the buggy bullet into the muzzle and ignite the fuse, a trace of joy flashed across Buggy's face. Next, he couldn't wait to see the horrified expression on Nami's face. Let the sound of the cannon fire be more intense. Accompanied by Buggy the clown's excited shouting. With a bang, the buggy bullet flew towards the house in Orange Town. Look at me, my special buggy bullet power. Bucky was laughing wildly, waiting excitedly for the result of the buggy bullet destroying Orange Town. However, at this moment, a black shadow suddenly passed through the air, and his flying buggy bullet suddenly disappeared. What's going on? Where's my buggy bullet? Seeing this scene, Buggy the clown was shocked and surprised, not knowing what happened. Oh, don't thank me, you just accidentally dropped the buggy bullet, I helped you pick it up. Just as he was confused, a voice sounded from behind him, and then there was a spherical object in his hand. Why did I get this thing? Looking at the Bucky bullet in his hand, Bucky's eyes were as big as a copper bowl, and he hurriedly threw it aside into the sea. As the manufacturer, he naturally knew that the power of this Bucky bomb was far greater than the cannonballs used by ordinary pirates and even the Navy. Only a bang sound was heard, and the Bucky bomb exploded with infinite impact in the sea, splashing waves dozens of meters high. Almost died. Bucky the clown wiped the cold sweat from his forehead, he was just a little bit closer to taking off. His split fruit can only protect against cuts, but not explosions. It was this Navy that almost killed the boss. Why is he here? I just saw him flying over from the air. Maybe he, like the boss, is a devil fruit user. Bucky's pirates drew their weapons and looked at Link warily. In their eyes, Link is as dangerous as a monster. If Bucky the clown was a godlike existence in their hearts, they might have all fled at this time. Ah, it's the Navy. I don't want to be taken back. Luffy, who was locked in the cage, also looked panicked. Don't worry, you don't have a reward yet, so I won't catch you. Link glanced at Luffy, a little speechless. As an ordinary person who traveled from a peaceful era, Link has the most ordinary views. Let's not talk about guys like Luffy who are called pirates but are actually adventurers. He has no desire to arrest him at all. And even if he really catches him, Grandpa Garp will definitely not let him go to jail. At most, he will force him to stay with him and become a Navy. Do you understand? This is the gold content of the third generation of officials. And this lady, are you not injured? After dealing with Luffy, Link turned to look at the orange-haired girl Nami. Although Nami is young at this moment, her figure is already very proud. Those slender white thighs are so dazzling that it makes people unable to open their eyes. I'm fine, Mr. Navy, please help me. Nami was stunned for a moment, then she looked like a weak girl, and even forced a tear from the corner of her eye. If Link hadn't read the original novel, Nami could have beaten Luffy, who was a rubber man, to the head without resorting to armed hockey. He almost believed it. Hey, what do you mean by the Navy? We're even talking about it. You simply don't take our Bucky pirates seriously. It seems that if we don't let you suffer, you don't know how powerful we are. Seeing that Link ignored them and started chatting directly with Nami, the pirate minions of the Bucky pirates surrounded Link with fierce expressions. Well, the main reason is that there are some problems with the time calculation this time. It seems that there is no way to fish. Members of the Buggy Pirates, your actions of destroying the town have violated the East China Sea control regulations. I, Link, declare to deprive you of all your powers and arrest you. Please let us go. Link scratched his head. Why have I never heard of any East China Sea control regulations? You ask me. I'm illiterate and don't read this kind of thing. Even if there is such a regulation, what does it have to do with us pirates? We pirates have always been unruly. There's nothing to say to this evil Navy. Let's take the guys and join them. The pirate minions spoke to each other and picked up their weapons one after another and rushed toward Link. Link stood there blankly as if he was frightened. Let all kinds of strange attacks such as swords, lion's teeth, and flying knives fall on you. Although the picture looks a bit funny, the Baki pirates are one of the best pirate groups in the East China Sea. These pirates usually live a life of licking blood with their swords, and their moves are full of lethality. All attacks are aimed at Link's vital parts. It's a pity that pure courage cannot make up for the gap in their strength. Link didn't even use his armored Haki, relying only on the iron blocks in his 6 moves to withstand all the attacks from the pirate minions. Even the repulsive force of the iron block caused many pirates' swords to curl up. Just after the Bucky pirates' minions finished their attack, Link raised his head leisurely. This guy is a monster. Seeing that there were no wounds on Link's body, the pirate gangsters' eyes became filled with fear. Although it's unclear how Link did it, their attacks really couldn't break through his defenses. Boss, we can only rely on you, we have tried our best. All the pirates retreated behind Bucky, leaving Bucky confused. Should I fight Link? Real or fake? How about it? Do you want to continue fighting? Or choose to just let it go and trap it yourself? Link took out a pair of seastone handcuffs from his waist and said slowly. How about we all come together? Bucky's face was dripping with cold sweat, and he didn't look as arrogant as he did when facing Nami. Boss, all our weapons are useless, even Lion Licky's teeth are broken. The animal trainer Mochi showed an ugly smile. Boss Buggy, use your invincible ability of the split fruit to think of a solution. Yeah, boss, didn't you say that even the world's #1 swordsman Hawkeye couldn't take you down? Then it's definitely no problem to deal with a mere ordinary navy now. The pirate minions retreated quietly while cheering for their boss. You bunch of rubbish. Baki wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Unlike the other pirates who had never seen the world, Buggy could naturally see that Link was using the 6 styles of marine physical techniques that clearly exceeded the limits of human physical fitness. He was a good user of the split fruit and could withstand most of the damage, but that didn't mean he wouldn't die. Since the opponent had learned the iron block, it wasn't strange for him to learn to point the gun. In this way, Buggy found it a little embarrassing that he might not be Link's opponent. What do you think, Buggy? Have you thought about it? Link approached slowly with handcuffs. In his opinion, a smart person like Buggy the Clown would choose to surrender. After all, he must have seen the Navy's 6 styles as he followed Roger's pirate group, so he naturally understood how big the gap in strength between them was. However, the next moment, Buggy's actions really surprised Link. He suddenly split his body, rushed towards Nami with a knife in both hands, and put the knife on Nami's neck. He held Nami hostage. Don't move, otherwise I will kill this little girl. Buggy the Clown showed a crazy smile at the corner of his mouth. If you don't want this little girl to get hurt, quickly remove the iron block for me and let my men help you tie her up. Otherwise. Buggy the Clown's long knife slowly approached, leaving a faint trace of blood on Nami's white collarbone. Seeing that Buggy the Clown actually dared to do it, Nami's face turned pale and was full of fear. What do you think? Are you not convinced? Seeing the hostage Nami's face full of fear, Buggy the Clown's smile became more and more rampant. But what he didn't notice was that Link's face was as cold as iron at this moment. Within the Navy, everyone has a different understanding of justice. Akainu's absolute justice, Aokiji's lazy justice, and Kizaru's ambiguous justice. And when he traveled to the world of pirates, the reason why Link became a Marine was. This is not just because his parents were martyrs in the Navy, and it was more convenient for him to enter the Navy. It's even more because he has the simplest hope of justice from the peaceful era in his heart to protect the weak and the people. In the beginning, Link didn't actually want to kill Bucky the Clown. For this comic-like character in the original work, Link even had a hint of fondness in his heart. However, at the moment when Bucky kidnapped Nami, Link suddenly realized that there was a real world in front of him. Perhaps the manga of One Piece is a fairy tale adventure story, but the world of One Piece is a cruel world. Maybe the Bucky in the comics is a likable character. But the Bucky standing in front of him now was undoubtedly an evil pirate who had destroyed towns and killed civilians without blinking an eye. Sorry, I was wrong. Link sighed softly. After hearing Link's words, Bucky thought that the other party was preparing to surrender in exchange for the safety of the hostages. As a result, his wild laughter became louder again. Navy, you're wise. Now give us a few chops honestly. Once I'm in a good mood, I won't be able to let you go. As soon as I finished speaking, suddenly, a black light flashed past Bucky's eyes. Finger gun Black Tiger takes out the heart. Before Bucky could react, there was a sharp pain in the heart of his chest. He slowly looked at his chest, but saw that the place where his heart should have been stored was now empty. I was wrong. The place you should go to is not prison, but hell. Link's cold voice rang in the ears of all the pirates. The darkness in his eyes was as if in his eyes these pirates were not humans, but beasts dressed in human clothes. This is impossible. Aren't you afraid that I will tear up the vote? Bucky covered the hole in his chest in disbelief. He looked at the young Navy in front of him with disbelief written all over his face. He had obviously already kidnapped someone. As a kind-hearted Navy, shouldn't he surrender? What made him even more reluctant to believe it was that the difference in strength between himself and the other party was really huge. The opponent just killed him instantly with just one move. Looking at Bucky, who was still able to speak even though his heart was destroyed. Even Link had to sigh that these guys in the pirate world are really amazingly frank. Bucky is a member of Roger's pirates. Roger wouldn't allow you to do such a thing, right? Do you still remember the agreement you made when you went to sea? Link said with some sigh. In a sense, the Roger pirates are just another Straw Hat pirates. At the very least, Roger's group would not do such things to bully the weak without any reason or grievance. However, Bucky has obviously changed now. What exactly do you want to say? Bucky asked as he coughed up blood and stared at Link. I didn't want to say anything, I just didn't want you to die so comfortably. Link looked at Bucky coldly. Don't you want me to die so comfortably? Then I want to die quickly. Bucky laughed to himself, a trace of imperceptible regret flashing in his eyes. Perhaps he was really approaching death, and countless marquees flashed in his mind, recording his life. Memories that were originally forgotten in the sea of consciousness over time continued to emerge. He deactivated his ability to tear himself apart and wanted to use his own knife to give himself a good time. However, the next moment, Link knocked the knife out of his hand with a wave of his hand. What do you want to do? Sorry, you can't die now. Link smiled awkwardly, and then took out a few pineapples from his pocket. Sorry, you can die now. After seeing the trace of regret flashing in Bucky's eyes, Link still gave him a happy surprise out of humanitarianism. Definitely not for shipments that want to split the fruit. I didn't expect that I was actually reborn. Link watched the pineapple in his hand slowly change its appearance. This was the split fruit that completed the rebirth of the devil fruit. Demon. This guy is an absolute monster. He extracted Boss Bucky's abilities. Surrender. We surrender. Master Marine, I just joined the Bucky Pirates. Let alone a human, I have never killed a chicken. You can't kill me. Seeing that the great pirate Bucky, whose captain had a bounty of 15 million, died in the hands of Link, the remaining pirates had fear written on their faces, and they all knelt down and begged for mercy. They are just a group of pirates, so naturally they cannot be Link's opponents. And with the speed Link showed before, even if they ran away separately, they would be easily destroyed by him. It's better to kneel down and beg for mercy, maybe you can save a dog's life. It was just a few sporadic ones at first, but then it developed into a human wave. In addition, there are quite a few pirates who feel that they are guilty and think that Link will definitely not let them go, so they choose to launch a suicidal charge towards Link. However, their actions were doomed to be in vain. How could these pirates who had never been out of the East China Sea be Link's opponents? Link suddenly flew into the air. Storm kick. Wind blades blasted out, instantly cutting the pirates who wanted to resist in half. Seeing this brutal scene, the pirates who had just kneeled down to beg for mercy were so scared that they almost couldn't hold it. They were afraid that this gentleman would kill them all after killing them. Fortunately, Link stopped attacking after dealing with the pirates who resisted stubbornly. Although he didn't like these pirates, there were indeed some people among them who didn't deserve to die. When they were enemies, when these pirates charged at him, Link would kill them without hesitation. However, when the other party surrendered, Link couldn't do such an anti-human action as slaughtering the captives. Even if the other party was an unforgivable pirate. Well, since we can't tell, let the Navy hire a group of hypnotists to ask these pirates what crimes they have committed, and then conduct a trial. Link muttered to himself, and said to the remaining pirates. The remaining pirates put their weapons on the ground, then put their hands on their heads, and come over one by one to put on handcuffs. After hearing this, the remaining pirates breathed a sigh of relief, and hurriedly lined up and handcuffed themselves in an orderly manner. During this period, no pirate dared to play tricks, for fear that they would provoke Link, the god of death. They didn't want to become the dead souls of Link's men. After handcuffing all the pirates and taking them back to the Navy ship, Link cut open the cage holding Luffy with a single swing of his leg. "Thank you, little brother. You are so awesome, can you teach me those moves?" Luffy, who had regained his freedom, gave Link a thumbs up with a silly smile on his face, and then approached Link for guidance. The Luffy at this time is not the Luffy of the future. Although he looks dull and stupid on the surface, in fact, he can be described as a wise man. He saw that Link was not hostile to his identity as a pirate, so he didn't panic too much. At the same time, Luffy actually cares more about Link's strength than Link's attitude. As early as when he was in the cage, he was mentally using Link to show his strength and his own. The comparison results shocked him. Link's strength was far superior to him. Since his dream is to become the Pirate King, one of the necessary conditions is to have enough power. That's why he came to Link for guidance at this moment. "Sorry, according to the regulations of the Navy, even if you are the grandson of Vice Admiral Garp, I cannot teach you the 6 styles." Link shook his head. "And for you, the fastest way to increase your strength is in battle." In the original work, Luffy is an out-and-out fighting genius, and his talents are very similar to those of the Saiyans in Dragon Ball. "Showing off something that can't kill me will only make me stronger." There was Lucci in the early stage, and Katakuri and Kaido in the later stage. They were all fighting with Luffy, and suddenly something was wrong. No, the other party has a problem. How come this kid doesn't get tired, but gets stronger the more he fights? Is that so? Hearing Link's words of rejection, Luffy's face curled up in frustration. At this moment, a swordsman with green hair and 3 swords on his body hurried over. "Ah, Luffy, I'm here to save you." Is he the enemy this time? The green algae-headed swordsman drew his sword and looked at Link warily. Not long ago, Luffy teased the big bird, but he was picked up by the big bird. He had no choice but to row his boat desperately to catch up with Luffy. However, the speed of the big bird was so fast that he couldn't catch up. Fortunately, he met 3 good Samaritans from the Bucky pirates later, and with their help, he was able to follow Luffy to the island. When he first arrived at the island, Sauron saw what seemed to be a battle taking place. After thinking about it for a moment, I felt that it was probably Luffy who was in trouble. So, he rushed up there non-stop. I never got lost halfway, and it took me a while to get here. Zarin, this little brother is a good man. Seeing Zoro wanting to fight Link, Luffy quickly stopped him. Link's temper is not very good. If the other party really wants to take him back, it will be troublesome. Yes, this guy is a good person. Nami on the side quickly told what happened just now exactly. After listening to Nami's description, Zoro finally understood what happened. "So, you directly destroyed a pirate group with a bounty of 15 million. There was a trace of surprise in Zoro's eyes. As a pirate hunter, he naturally knows how powerful pirates at this price range are. Being able to directly wipe out a pirate group of this level without taking any damage, Link's strength indeed exceeded his imagination. Moreover, judging from the opponent's behavior, this is still a rare good navy. He has been wandering in the East China Sea for a while, and has encountered a lot of navy during this period. It can be said that the first reaction of an ordinary navy when encountering a pirate of this level is not to fight forward, but to decisively turn the ship around and escape. There are not many Marines like Link who dare to fight pirates. In the vast East China Sea, apart from Link in front of him, it seems that only the White Hunter Smoker from Rog Town can do this. Of course, this may also have something to do with strength. After all, there are really not many powerful navies in the East China Sea. "So, we can leave now." Zoro blinked in confusion. "Probably." As Link was speaking, he suddenly turned his head as if he sensed something. I saw a group of townspeople of different heights, short, fat and thin-armed with wooden sticks, coming to Link menacingly. Don't get me wrong, we and that clown Bucky are not. Seeing this scene, Nami thought these townspeople thought they were the accomplices of Bucky the Clown and hurriedly explained. However, she hadn't finished her words yet. These townspeople knelt down with a pop. Some of the small-looking children handed Link their own beef and mutton. "Sir, this is the beef and mutton raised by our family." Mom and Dad said thank you for avenging your uncle. A cute little girl wearing coarse cloth said to Link in a sweet voice. Link touched the opponent's head, took the beef and mutton in his hand with a smile, and at the same time took out a stack of Baileys from his arms. Our Navy has regulations and you can't take it for free. The quality of the beef and mutton is good, even if I bought it. After that, Link put the money into the little girl's hand. You just gave her the money like this? Nami on the side showed a trace of confusion in her eyes. Did you know that you just gave her at least twice the price? Of course I know. I used to be responsible for buying food and cooking in the Navy branch. Link responded with a smile. Before Goldfinger even got paid, he was working 2 jobs in the Navy branch. He also goes to town for shopping on weekdays, so he naturally knows the price of beef and mutton. You should also know the character of Bucky the Clown. He is very greedy for money and extremely cruel. These townspeople live under his rule, and how much money is left in their hands? Quote. Link sighed softly, slowly walked into Bucky's stronghold, and took out another box of treasures. He walked up to the old man who was the leader of the townspeople and asked, "Are you the mayor of this town?" "Yes, my name is Boodle." The old man replied nervously. "Mayor Boodle, right, I see that this town was badly destroyed by Bucky. Take this box of treasures and leave this phone bug with you. If you have any questions in the future, you can call directly. I'll handle it when I have time. If I don't have time, I can arrange for someone to come over. Please note my phone number." Quote. Link said his phone bug number. Boodle nodded and quickly wrote down the number. At the same time, Link also gave a phone bug to Luffy and others. If you encounter a dangerous pirate group from now on, just call me directly and I will give you half of the bounty. Link said slowly. The reason why the Straw Hats were given a phone bug was because after this incident, Link found that he still couldn't pick peaches at the best time just by guessing. He has done it himself too many times. What if he is deemed reliable by the Navy and the Celestial Dragons go shopping in the future and ask for his protection? He is a man who wants to become the king of fishing. He not only wants to enjoy power, but also does not want to be responsible. So, he simply gave Luffy a phone bug. In this way, after Luffy solves the problem, he can take the credit on time. Thank you so much, Admiral. You are a truly good admiral. Seeing that Link was willing to share all of Buggy the Clown's treasure with them, Mayor Boodle was so excited that he wanted to continue kneeling on the spot. But he was helped up by Link. It's okay, these are what I, Link, should do. For Link, although Bailey is important, as long as it is enough, it will be fine. Moreover, he has gained something more important this time, that is, he got the split fruit. The ability of the split fruit is to split any part of his body into several small pieces, and it can be combined at will. From the performance of Buggy in the original work, the split fruit does not seem to have much achievement in attack, and it is more manifested in the restraint of swordsman. But in fact, Link feels that the potential of the split fruit is far less than this. Because the fruit can also split objects into pieces, and can also restore them intact. In the original work, when Buggy was chopped by Hawkeye, his clothes were obviously cut into many sections, but they could be reassembled later. It can be seen that the ability of the split fruit can also be used on the outside world. If Buggy in the original work had cultivated the fruit ability to the full extent, then he might be able to cut open other people's bodies and reassemble them at will like Law with the Operation Fruit, and the consumption of physical strength is likely to be lower than that of the Operation Fruit. In this way, the value of the split fruit is obviously not the lowest level of the Devil Fruit, at least it is at the level of 500 million Baileys. Compared with this Devil Fruit, Buggy's treasures are just a hair on a bull's body. But no matter what, please be sure to attend our next banquet. Without you, this banquet is incomplete. Boodle lowered his head and said, "This." Before Link could speak, Luffy on the side yelled, "Banquet! Banquet! Barbecue! Barbecue!" Hearing Luffy's yelling, Link's stomach began to growl. The appetite of humans in the pirate world is not ordinary, and Link shared 4 times the appetite, so it is natural. So, Link nodded and said, "Then I'll trouble the mayor." Then, he followed the mayor to the banquet and began to eat with an appetite. "Are you a good Navy?" At this moment, Nami held the Den Den Mushi, with a very complicated expression. Judging from Link's performance, if she asked him to destroy the dragon pirates, Link would choose to agree. But did she really want to drag Link into this muddy water? Nami remembered what Dragon said in her mind, that the power of fishmen is more than 10 times that of humans. She had been in contact with the dragon pirates for a long time, and Dragon's words had long been firmly engraved in her heart like a thought stamp. Even if Link's strength at this moment is also far beyond that of ordinary people, can he be a match for a fishman with 10 times the power? Forget it, anyway, we will soon get enough money to redeem the village, so there is no need to make trouble. Nami hesitated for a long time, and finally gave up asking Link for help. In order to avoid getting Link involved. What Nami didn't know was that Link had seen her actions. It seems that Nami still can't break the barrier in her heart so easily. Link sighed inwardly while eating. This situation is not surprising. After all, Nami's own strength is very average, and it is normal that she can't tell who is stronger between him and the dragon. From the original work, even Luffy, who has been with him for a long time, still doesn't believe that the other party can defeat the dragon. I'm afraid that in Nami's heart at this moment, the dragon is invincible. Hehe, in the final analysis, it's still the racist dragon who blows in Nami's ear every day that fishmen are born stronger than humans, and humans resisting fishmen is equivalent to defying the laws of nature. This is what led to Nami's thoughts. Even if I tell her now that fishmen are destined to be slaves in the new world, I'm afraid she will think I'm lying, right? Link sighed softly. Since Nami didn't bring it up, he didn't have a good entry point to participate in it. Besides, this period of time is the period when the dragon collects money, and no one will be killed. It won't be long before Luffy and his friends go over and defeat it, and then I can go and get some credit. Speaking of which, in addition to the dragon pirates, the rat colonel who colluded with the dragon pirates also made a lot of credit. Link thought to himself. In the original work, the rat colonel was also a rat in the navy. Not only did he not dare to provoke the dragon, but he also helped the dragon to make money. In the end, the rat colonel basically had nothing to do. If he reported his affairs truthfully, his credit would probably be further improved, and he would be promoted. High-level navy not only has the opportunity to get good swords and good fruits for free, but also has the opportunity to learn from those powerful navy. Link is not a combat genius like Luffy. Not to mention Bonnie, the chosen son of heaven, who can get the bug fruit of the year. He couldn't be like Luffy, who fought a few times in such a short time in Wano country and immediately comprehended the high-level armament Haki Air Sakura, Conqueror Haki Entanglement, and Fruit Awakening. He couldn't intercept Nika's future like Bonnie and transform into Nika's form. God knows why the brain challenged 5 elders Sarden gave this junk fruit to Bonnie. He is just like a 24-year-old guy in Kamen Rider who likes to create a father. And the only thing Link can rely on is himself to steadily improve his own strength step by step. While Link was thinking, the banquet lasted from noon to dusk. After eating and drinking, Link found that Luffy and others had replenished their supplies and were preparing to set off. By the way, there is one thing I almost forgot, Luffy. Link seemed to have thought of something and suddenly stopped Luffy. Is there anything, Link? Luffy asked. When you meet your brother Ace in the future, no matter what means you use, you can't let him continue to hunt Blackbeard. It's best to let Whitebeard take your brother back, Link instructed. This is also a test for Luffy. In the original work of One Piece, Luffy has saved countless countries and is even more diligent than some navy. If I have to say one thing that was wrong, it was that he broke into Impel Down and released the criminals in order to rescue Ace. If Luffy did it, Link could follow him and get credit later. If he couldn't do it, Link could only reluctantly give up and do it himself. How did you know my brother was Ace? Who is Blackbeard? Why can't he see Blackbeard? Hearing Link's instructions, Luffy was confused. I don't know why Link suddenly said such a thing. Link didn't continue to explain, and there was no way to explain. Could it be that he was going to say that these plots all happened in the comics? Once Ace found Blackbeard, Ace would be defeated by him and eventually taken to Impel Down to be executed. And in order to save Ace, Luffy released the pirates and criminals in Impel Down, causing unrest in the whole world. In the end, Ace died. In response, Link ignored Luffy's question and continued to warn. In short, if you don't want Ace to die, you must remember my words today. If you do anything illegal in the future, don't blame me for being ruthless. Navy Branch 153. In a luxurious office, Link was lying comfortably on a recliner, with snacks and juice beside him, and in his hand was a reward message that the Navy had just given him. Looking at the good news in front of him, Link smiled happily. Since he said goodbye to Luffy, the other party has defeated Baiji Crow and Pirate Admiral Click in Silip Village and Sea Restaurant. As a righteous Navy, Link naturally rushed to the scene as soon as possible after receiving the call, arresting these big pirates and adding 2 more achievements to his list of achievements. Although these 2 contributions were not enough to promote Link to Brigadier General, he estimated that it was almost there. When Luffy wipes out the last dragon pirates, my contribution will be enough to be promoted to Commodore. Link chuckled. The Commodore's salary was much higher than his current salary, and he could also enjoy better resources. For example, Smoker's Seastone weapon. In addition, educational resources should also be guaranteed. He, Link, is not the protagonist. If he wants to learn something, there will be a lot of big guys coming to teach him. He must be promoted to a military rank to have more opportunities. Speaking of which, since his achievements can be related to Luffy, then maybe there is a chance to connect with him. Link was thinking about the possibility of having a relationship with Garp, when suddenly the phone bug on his desk rang. Seeing the phone bug turn into orange hair, Link instantly understood who was looking for him. This is Navy Branch 153. I'm Link. Miss Nami, are there another pirates caught who need my help? The next moment, a crying voice rang from the other end of the phone. Mr. Link, you are being targeted. What? Who is targeting me? Link asked in surprise. Nami would come over and say that she was being targeted, which he didn't expect. The evil dragon is targeting you for some reason. They know that we have a close relationship with you, so they want me to cooperate with them and kill you. I don't want to. But I don't know what to do, so I chose to call you. Quote. I see. Link replied that he had finished listening and was thinking silently. It's very strange why the dragon pirates suddenly targeted him. After all, they had no interaction at all before. It makes no sense to suddenly say that you want to kill yourself. Could it be that his investigation into Colonel Mouse was discovered by the other party? So the other party asked the dragon pirates to take action and wanted to silence me. Forget it, I'm too lazy to continue thinking about it. Since the evil dragon came to your door by himself, don't blame me for calling someone. After thinking for a moment, Link slowly opened the phone bug. Ding ding, the call is connected. The next second, the phone bug turned into a figure holding 3 cigarettes. Time goes back to an hour ago. The reward for Link is not only known to Link himself, but also spread throughout the entire East China Sea Navy. Navy Branch 16. Colonel Mouse looked at the internal commendation notice in his hand with envy and jealousy. Despicable Link actually thought of such a method. I'm afraid this guy will be promoted to Brigadier General soon. Colonel Mouse was quite unhappy with the fact that Link often followed a pirate to take credit. Now that he is a colonel, he can earn tens of millions of dollars in oil and water every year. Once he becomes a Brigadier General, I'm afraid he won't be able to earn hundreds of millions of Baileys every year. Moreover, the partner he cooperates with is the strongest dragon pirates in the East China Sea. Isn't it easier to capture other pirates for merit? No, how could that evil dragon listen to me? Thinking of this, Colonel Mouse showed a hint of helplessness in his eyes. It seems simple to find a pirate as a black glove to kill the other pirates, and then collect the prize for yourself, but in practice it is quite difficult. At least 2 conditions need to be met at the same time. First, he needs a pirate group that can command cooperation. Second, the pirate group that cooperates must be very powerful. However, for Colonel Mouse, he can only meet one of the 2 conditions, but not both at the same time. The pirate groups he can command are all pirate groups without bounties. And the most powerful of the pirate groups he cooperated with, the Dragon Pirates, didn't listen to him at all. To be more precise, he listened to the Dragon Pirates. Therefore, there is no way he can imitate Link. What's more important is that he still has no way to report Link. Because the reason given by Link was also very sufficient. On the way to pursue the Straw Hat Boys, he accidentally encountered the other pirate groups who were defeated by the Straw Hat Boys. Out of humanitarian ideas, he could never leave these defeated pirate groups alone. Ever since, these defeated pirate groups were brought back to the Navy branch. Colonel Mouse really had nothing to do with Link's reason, and said that it was simply impeccable. Because the original Lieutenant General Garp was also on the way to hunt down the Pirate King Roger. He picked up many pirates and earned a lot of credit. The most famous one was that he teamed up with Roger to kill the Rock's pirates. If he dares to question Link's complicity with pirates and his impure nature, that would be equivalent to questioning the naval hero Garp. Isn't this just asking for trouble? God knows how many people in the Navy admire Garp, and how many Navy people are Garp's disciples. If these guys heard that he dared to question Garp, he would probably be trained by them every day in the name of muscle building. In addition to jealousy, Colonel Mouse was also a little afraid. He had been operating in the East China Sea for a long time and had some power. With the help of these forces, Colonel Mouse learned that Link seemed to have set his sights on him and sent people to investigate him privately. That Link actually wanted to turn himself into his own achievement. Link, fortunately there are not many big pirates in the East China Sea now. Even if that group of pirates killed all the other pirate groups, there is no way to help him get promoted to Brigadier General. Otherwise, when that guy is promoted to Brigadier General, he will openly investigate me, and that's it. Quote. Thinking of this, Colonel Mouse smiled. The East China Sea has always been known as the weakest sea, and there are not many pirates. Now, except for the dragon pirates, all the pirates with bounties of more than 10 million berries have basically been cleaned up by the Straw Hat Boys. The remaining few rotten fish and shrimps with only a few million berries, even if they are killed, Link can't be promoted to Brigadier General with his current achievements. As for killing the dragon pirates, don't be ridiculous, how can those guys be the opponent of the dragon? By the way, it seems that there is an undercover agent of the dragon pirates in the Straw Hat Boys group. Colonel Mouse suddenly remembered a piece of information he had seen before, and his wretched eyes lit up. Since Link wants to take action against him, don't blame him for being rude. Give the dragon some money later, and let the undercover agent ask Link out and kill him directly, so that I don't have to worry every day. Quote. Roger Town, Navy Branch. This is a town known as the beginning and the end, and it is also the only way for the East China Sea to enter the Grand Line. In order to prevent the pirates of the East China Sea from going to the Grand Line, the Navy stationed here is also the most famous and most powerful white hunter smoker in the entire East China Sea. Although it is still doubtful whether this obstacle is effective, it does not prevent the white hunter from patrolling the streets and making his own contribution to the haze in Roger Town. However, just as he was about to set off, the Den Den Mushi of the Roger Town Navy branch suddenly rang. Ding ding ding. Seeing the display of the Den Den Mushi, Smoker's face turned black. But after hesitating for a moment, he answered the phone. I am Smoker. Colonel Smoker, I need your help. Link on the other end of the Den Den Mushi said straight to the point. Is there any trouble cooperating with pirates? Recently, Link has been a well-known existence in the entire East China Sea Navy circle. On the one hand, he did capture a large number of pirate groups that committed crimes, and made an indelible contribution to the peace of the East China Sea. On the other hand, these merits were obtained by relying on pirates, which seemed very shameful. The mixture of these two contradictory emotions made Smoker's attitude towards Link very complicated. But no matter what, Link is a Navy, and he took the initiative to seek his help. Therefore, Smoker still planned to give him a chance to explain, so he asked, Colonel Link, what trouble have you encountered? Link took a breath, and then said, Colonel Smoker, I was targeted by a pirate group, and they wanted to kill me. Link was targeted by a pirate group. Hearing this news, Smoker's eyelids jumped, and he couldn't help but be a little surprised. You know, pirates and the Navy seem to be incompatible, but in fact they have a certain tacit understanding. Normally, pirates should not take the initiative to attack the Navy, so as not to cause trouble. It is usually the Navy that goes to trouble the pirates. Is there really such an arrogant pirate group in the East China Sea that dares to attack the Navy? Colonel Link, do you know which pirate group wants to kill you? Smoker asked. Admittedly, he doesn't have a particularly good impression of Link, a Navy who relies on pirates to catch pirates in order to get promoted. But Link is a member of the Navy after all. A small pirate dared to bully their navy. If it is true, he must join them. It is a group of pirates hovering in Coco West Village, called the Dragon Pirates. According to my informant, this pirate group rules almost 20 villages around. Everyone in the village must pay for their lives if they want to live. 100,000 per month for adults and 50,000 for children. Hearing Link's words, Smoker's expression quickly changed, first puzzled, then angry. Really? But why did I hear that Colonel Mouse often went there to fight crime, and never heard that the Dragon Pirates ruled 20 villages? Smoker's face was as cold as ice. If someone who knew Smoker was present at this moment, they would know that he was in a state of extreme anger at this moment. The transportation in the pirate world is blocked, and there are considerable risks in traveling. Even the Four Emperors' red hair came to the East China Sea, and was bitten off an arm by the legendary King of the Sea. It is precisely because of these reasons that Smoker has been staying in Rogue Town since he was demoted and rarely goes out. Although he has heard about the Dragon Pirates, it is completely different from what Link said now. If Link is not lying, it means that Colonel Mouse is not clean. If Colonel Smoker doesn't believe it, you can go to Coco West Village with me to find out. Link said fearlessly. Anyway, every word of the information he said is true, and he is not afraid of Smokercha at all. But I still need to guard Rogue Town to prevent those pirates from entering the Grand Line. There is no way to leave. Smoker looked tangled. Smoker, what if I tell you that this group of pirates is actually related to the Fishmen of the New World? Link's voice was a bit solemn. The captain of the Dragon Pirates, Dragon, was once the right-hand man of the Fishman hero Fisher Tiger. Even when he faced Kizaru, who was still a vice-admiral at the time, he only lost. This guy is unfathomable, and at least has the strength of a brigadier general. If Colonel Smoker is unwilling to help, then I'm dead. Are you willing to watch a good navy die in vain? Link's words stunned Smoker. Since Link became famous in the navy, Smoker has seen his every move. Admittedly, Link's strength may be a little lower, and it is likely that he is not as good as him and Dragon of the Dragon Pirates, otherwise he would not come to him for help. But there is no doubt that he is indeed a sailor with high moral character. After the town was invaded by pirates, he would leave the pirates' treasures to the townspeople to help them rebuild. He even left his phone number to the pirates so that they could contact him at any time. It would be too sad if such a good sailor died in the hands of pirates. I understand. Smoker took a big puff of his cigar and said hatefully, the Dragon Pirates dared to be so arrogant and wanted to attack our navy. Don't worry, Colonel Link, I will go over to meet you later. After that, he immediately hung up the phone and prepared to go to Coco West Village with Link. Anyway, the powerful pirate groups in the East China Sea have been destroyed by Link's black gloves and straw hats. The remaining pirate groups, except for the Dragon Pirates, are all a bunch of rotten fish and shrimps. Even if they go to the Grand Line, they will be wiped out. There is no need for him to do it himself. Tasuki, Smoker suddenly shouted to the outside. I'm here. The next moment, a female navy wearing glasses and a famous sword on her waist immediately appeared in front of Smoker. Colonel Link is in danger and needs our help. Come with me now, Smoker said to Tasuki while carrying his seastone weapon. The female sergeant in front of him is a good seedling he found after coming to the East China Sea. She is quite strong, but she has seen blood less often and does not have enough combat experience. This time, it is a very good opportunity to train to destroy the Dragon Pirates. Smoker wanted to take her to see the world. Is Colonel Link in danger? Hearing Smoker's words, Toshiki touched her glasses with her fingers, and her fair face became a little solemn. Unlike Smoker's complicated feelings towards Link, Toshiki really likes Link. In her opinion, a navy that can think about the people is a good navy. And Link undoubtedly meets this condition. In order to save Link as soon as possible, they must attack immediately. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.